Hi everybody, good morning. Is the sound proper? All good here? Yes. Okay, great. So just to mention that in case there is any issue, right? In case you face any technical issue, kindly go log out of GoToMeeting and log in again, right? So usually that will work, right? If it doesn't work, then of course, like, check speeds at your end, write a message here, and we'll see where exactly the issue is, and then you log if it's at your end, you log out, log in, and again. If it doesn't work, then we have a support number, so you can call up the support number, which is here. So that's the support number. Right. So let's begin right from this point on. Let's begin with some set of introductions at your end, at my end, and understanding what your expectations are from being here. So if you guys can start with just one line of intro. Here in the chat window is where we will talk. Anything, in whether you want to talk about digital marketing, if you've done digital marketing in the past, how has your experience been, or any expectations from this course in particular, anything, or what you're currently doing as of now. Anybody wants to start? Hi, Ashish. Ashish is from Pune, working as a marketing specialist, looking forward to start your own consultation as an expert in digital marketing. That's great. Saptarni is from Kolkata, as a college student. Okay, and okay, Saptarni is from Kolkata, college student, currently doing email marketing module in weekdays. All right, that's another very interesting. At least I like it a lot. Email marketing, very very interesting. Siddharth Mohanty, Bangalore-based marketing content author, and I'm looking to upskill and become a more holistic digital marketer. Okay, content. Okay, fine. And Jobby John is from Trivandrum, working as a senior business analyst, shifting career towards digital marketing. Right. So all of us either are into it or we totally want to get into digital marketing. That's great. Chandan is already working in digital marketing profile. Razia, expectation is to use the knowledge gained here for optimizing your company website. Right. So that's the approach, Razia, that we will be taking. Right. To not optimize the website as such in through this, but how to promote that more, right? Some bit of optimization what is required, but how do you go and promote it more? That is what we will be learning here. Anmol, a computer science engineer pursuing MBA in marketing. Rochak is digital marketing executive and want to become a digital marketing expert. Fair enough. Abida is used to work for Facebook as community operations analyst for last 3 years. Post marriage, I've moved to Bangalore and learning digital marketing to upgrade skills for better job opportunities. Great. So you have already worked with Facebook as community operations analyst. All right. Bernard is from Bangalore, is working in VAS company. I want to get into digital marketing. All right. Sonali is from Pune, started working in digital marketing already and wants to improve her skill sets. Shushmita is working for a social networking platform in Gurgaon, and working with the digital marketing team, but looking to become an expert in this level now. Okay, Deepti is shifting career option to digital marketing from insurance. All right, Deepti Unni. Okay, your name seems like I've heard of earlier. Okay, I think maybe because Unni was my boss earlier, but his first name was Unni. Wish to start my new online business. Okay, I'm Sanjana from Delhi. I'm currently working into ad sales and looking forward to in-depth knowledge of DM. Okay. Amit from Delhi, working in Fluke India as assistant sales manager, looking out to implement digital marketing in current job. Okay. You also want to become a digital marketing expert. So great, guys. So anything else? Anybody else wants to mention anything? So anybody who's you've have you completed any other modules here, or is this the first module? Somebody mentioned that you are doing email marketing right now. Any other modules you've covered here? SEO is completed, Joby. Great. Okay, so that's somewhat related. Not. I mean, that's the other part of it. Okay, first module, 2 classes of SEO done. This is my second module. I've completed SEO. Okay, great. Okay, so probably this batch, most of you are moving the in the SEO batch also together. Okay, first module for you, Megha Ashmita. Great. Okay, so I'll just let you know how we will go about it. But before that, a little bit of introduction of mine as well. So my name is Ruchi Sinha. I will be taking your this SEM module for the next 4 Saturdays, right, including today, that is, and we will be meeting from 10 to 1:30. We will have one break in between, right? So that's how we will go about it. Now, as for my background, I started with digital marketing in 2006, and that's when I started with this platform, the very type of advertising that we are going to be discussing the next 4 sessions. And that was very, very small at that time. So I've seen this product evolve. Small in the sense it wasn't small really, but it was more of very less features compared to today. A lot of guesswork we started with. Now there's a lot of data and a lot of things there now. So that's where we started. Now 2007 Jan was when I first appeared for the exam that's associated with AdWords. AdWords is what I'm talking about. And post that, I moved into media planning and handled a lot of brands with different agencies. Mostly I was with agencies usually at that time. And I've handled a lot of brands with agencies. So with agencies you get to exposure, you get an exposure on a lot of brands. And then right now I'm working with an e-commerce company. I'm handling their digital marketing, and it's a small it's a small company. So it's a very it's all of digital marketing that I'm handling for them. And the other bit is that I have been a trainer with digital bit with there for like over 2 years now. It's close to 2.5 years now, and this is the module that I'm leading. So that's about me, and I'll just take you through the agenda for this course as well now. So see here. Now, this is the part that should definitely be there in your LMS. Okay, so please check that this course is being added to your LMS and you are able to log into your LMS. You can access things here, right? So ensure that any such issues, if you have, please check with your coordinator and figure this out, right? So obviously, I mean, by automatically it should have been added. I'm just saying that in case there is any kind of technical glitch, this is the time you should sort it out right after this session. So this is the course that I'm talking about. What we will be learning here is basically this platform called Google AdWords, right? So Google AdWords is what we will be learning, and there is a lot to Google AdWords, which will include search, which will include what we typically know as banner ads. There is some mobile into it. There is then there is all detailed reporting that we will get into, right? So that's just I'm trying to make it very simple right now, but there is a lot, rather, there's a lot to be covered. So what we will do, the approach that we will take is, today we will start with understanding what is this all about. First of all, how do you what are the different parts of search? How do you distinguish it? Like, some people are attending SEO class, so what is SEO then? What we are doing, how is it different then, right? Then and then, so once we understand the intro bit of it, we'll go and understand all the possibilities that are there through AdWords, right? What all we can do, what all kind of advertising can be done. So we'll understand all of that, and then we will go and create an account, understand how we will approach that account once we've created it, and all the terms that are involved. And one very, very important point, this is where we ought to definitely reach today, is where how do we go and create a search campaign, right? So we'll try and get started today itself. If all of this we can cover, then the idea is to get started today itself. So we'll go and create a search campaign today, but we will not go in depth into it. We will go and understand it more in detail in the second week. So then once we are done with all this, the second week will be all about search, right? So that's the plan. Now let me go back and go to Google first of all. Anything else anybody wants to mention at this point? Excuse me. So now here is a another link that I want to share. So some of you may have a website of your own or a blog of your own. So essentially, you can go and promote. So what we are going to do is some sort of advertising. It's one way of advertising. So you can get people to your website. You can promote your website like that. Now the idea is that it's great that if you have a website or a blog of your own at least, because then your learning will be all 360. You will be actually able to create a campaign and take it live, right? And take it live. Otherwise what you will do is we will be working, we can create campaigns but the ads will never run, right? So then you will be able to take it live, spend some little amount, but you will be able to completely go about this process. So this is just one link that I want to share in case somebody wants some help with creation of your online presence, right? So if you have a website or a blog, or if you want to create one, so if you want to create one, you can go about this course and you will be taken through all the steps here. So that will be good, right? So please save this link with you, and in case you need so it'll be good if you from today to the next week, or let's say towards the next whenever, so like first 2 weeks, if you can spend some time and build an online presence, you'll be able to go and promote it. When we have an assignment in the second week, right, then we will also ask you to uh, tell us some learnings from your campaign, right? So what happened with your advertising? I have created a blog recently, but there isn't much content. Is that okay if we use for promoting? um, yeah, you can promote, right? As you can promote, you can spend a little bit of amount and you can start at least understanding how this works, right? So definitely, why not? And meanwhile you can add some content. We have 2 weeks time, so meanwhile you can add some content also. Today's assignment will be much simpler. It's the second one where we will go into more detail. So anyway, you can run one camp, you can run some ads, and you can direct people to specific pages, so you don't have to direct them to like everything. So yeah, you can do that. I've created a blog. Okay, this is done. I'm halfway creating a blog, but I can. Oh, of course, Abida, of course. I mean, this was just something that I wanted to mention, that it is better, if it's in terms of learning, it's better if you have one and you then can go and promote it, right? That's completely fine. What if my course status is added but says not started? Not started. That may be because we starting today. I'm not sure actually. This is something that if after today also it doesn't start or something, then you no no course is added here, right? It's not started is nothing. It's just that this should be added. This course should be added. You should be able to see. This is what I want to say. That you should be able to see all these links here, right? So that you can go and navigate, check the assignments and all. That is something that will move. The status will move as you go and attend the sessions. But beyond this, you can check with your coordinator, right? In case even now, if you face an issue, you can check with your coordinator. Have own blog on WordPress, but no content as such. Yeah, so Ashish, see, you can go and learn this definitely. Otherwise, also, it's just that if you have one a website, you have a blog, then you will be able to run those ads, take them live. Okay, just that. Yeah, cool. I'm step at 7. Sorry, I didn't understand. Okay. So similar case with you. Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll start now. Now, where I will start is here. So if I go to Google, right, and if I go and type this out, anything I can just say Buy IPL tickets. Okay, let's see this. No, we don't have any ads here. So let's say, so now do you see this page? What do you understand of this page? What do you think this page is all about? Yes, they are giving you your search query results. The ads are showing up first, Shushmita, that is true. There are paid ads on the page, results, what we have searched, ads, and then some links. Okay, ads, search queries and ads with ads, shopping results, organic search, SERP with organic results area, and ad area, organic ads. Okay, so all of us have noticed there are ads on this page, right? Basis my query, Google shows results and the top matched ads on the top. Correct. So Google is showing you what is a mix of what we call as organic search results. Okay, organic search results means these ones which are not paid for. Okay, these are not paid for, and they are just what a search engine is supposed to provide you, right? When you come into a search engine and you're looking for websites, a web, search engine is supposed to provide you that the websites, the web pages that match the content of what you're searching, right? So this part is known as organic search results. But before that, if you see these links here, see this green rectangle here, it says add, right? You see this green rectangle here on the second line, it says add, right? This means these are because they specify that always, right? So they specify that, and this is an ad. It's not coming from the way these are coming in. So these are coming from the Google algorithm of their own search algorithm. While this is different, now this ad is different. Even the ones that you see on the top, right? Even these ones, this says they say sponsored, right? So even these ones, right? But these are specific to online product businesses. But if you go for finding any sort of any sort of services, let's say classes, anything, right? If you go and see, then these will be applicable to everyone. These will be applicable only to products. Okay, then if I scroll down further, and then I see there is this ad written here again, right? This says ad again, this says ad again. So what's happening? I see some ads are there at the top, there are some ads at the bottom of this page, and this is what this entire page is all about. Is the voice okay for everybody else? All right. So then here what we are concerned with in this session, in this module, in fact in this module we'll be concerned with the ad part here, right? This paid ads, these are known as paid ads. And why? Because they are paid for. You pay here if somebody clicks on your ad. Okay, and that is another reason they are known as PPC. You would have heard of PPC, that is pay per click. Why are they called as pay per click? Because if somebody clicks on this ad of yours, so suppose you are Pepperfry and you've posted this ad here, if somebody goes and if I'm seeing this ad, you don't have to pay any money for this. But if I go and click on this ad, then you will have to pay a certain amount for this click. Okay, so pay per click, there will be a certain amount for every click that you will pay to Google, right? So this money that you will be spending. While here, this is coming from the Google algorithm, so you'll not be paying for this. This will, if you, so now this part is where the SEO that you would have heard of, or search engine optimization, search engine optimization is done to improve your website so that you improve your ranking on this part of Google, right? The organic search results. So you try and improve your ranking. You try to appear on a better, on the first page ideally, or on a higher page, because any business might not be even here on the first page. They might be there on the fourth page, another page, whatever. So they try and work on their website, the search engine optimization, which is a different module, like everybody said here. So there you learn how to go and try and improve your ranking over here, right? We'll be concerned about understanding how do we get our ads here. First of all, we should be convinced why should we have our ads here. Okay, so see here, even this brand that I see right now, this brand is here as well as here, right? So they are, and I've seen these searches many times. So, and I've seen that they are, typically they are there here as well, and here also they are like they're on the first or the second rank. So why is it that they're investing so much money into being here, even if they are here, right? So one of course, for some businesses it may be that they're not here at all, right? And that is why they want to, at least, so because this takes a long time. SEO, you can improve your SEO, you can work on SEO and improve your website and all that, improve your rankings, but it takes some time. It takes a long time. So this and then also it may not be possible for every brand to appear on the first page, right? So that is one reason, of course, that you will advertise. The other reason is that even if you're here, look at how this is written and how this is written. So here, this is how Google goes and picks up from all the description that you have on your website and all, right? But here, this is an ad copy. Okay, so this is like an ad copy that you will write. Every part of this will be written by you. You can go and change it at any point in time. And remember that the way the format is, okay, the way the format on this page is, there are four text ads on the top. Right now you're seeing these ads as well, these ads. But if these ads are not there on a certain page, then you might see four ads here at the top of the page, and then only these results come in. So that's the current format by Google: four text ads, and then these results, and then three ads here, right? So three are here right now. So three ads here, right? So 4 plus 3. So now, even so that, so what I'm saying is, even if you are somewhere here, your ad, and if you're not there on the advertising bit, there will be four links, right? So there will be four links before your first link will be here. Okay, so why is it that the Urban Ladder ad is first and the Pepperfry ad is second, but according to SEO, Pepperfry is first and Urban Ladder is second? Okay, so SEO works on a different algorithm, right? So not SEO, so let's say organic search results, they work on a different algorithm. So that will be something that you learn there, the details of it, how currently what is happening there and all. What when I'll talk about this part, why is the Urban Ladder ad first, right? So then that is the result of an auction process that is going at the back end. So we will be seeing the details into it today only, Shushmita. So we will be seeing the details into it, why this ad is at the first place, why this ad is at the second place, right? So how can I improve, and rather than, so everybody would want to be there rather than be here, right? So how do I work on that? So if I refresh this page, let's see what happens. So what I'm trying to just show is that, okay, it has not changed right now, but what I'm trying to tell you is that, this is a different search. This time it could have changed as well. It could have changed. Okay, right now we're seeing it the same way, but this is a different result. So um, you may get a different result also next time. See, the hometown ad is not there now, right? The hometown one is missing. So this is a different one. So it changes on every search, and we'll see how we can improve on that. PPC and CPC, is it the same? So PPC is how this entire payment system works, let's say, and that is why this platform, these platforms are known as PPC based platforms. So because we pay per click, right? So it's a like a macro thing, we were paying per click here on this platform, at least with these ads, right? And CPC, right, you will hear a term called CPC, right, which is cost per click, right? So cost per click is that exact amount that you will be paying. So like I said, that if somebody clicks on my ad, I have to pay a certain money to Google. So suppose it is 10 rupees. That 10 rupees is my cost per click. Okay, Deepti, clear? Okay, so this yeah, so this is working on PPC. So I'm working on a platform where I'm paying, where I'm paying by per click, and that's why it's a PPC based platform. But that exact money is CPC. Administrator, somebody who's here as an administrator. Are you back now? May I know your name as well? So it's easier. If Unilever, sorry. If our ladder and pepper fry doing well in organic search, are they paying unnecessarily to Google? No, so that is what I said. So even if you are paying well, if you are performing well here, um, you may have four text ads here, right? So which means that, so even if you are here on this link, right, there will be four ads at the top, right? So if you don't advertise, there will be four ads, and then yours will be the fifth link. Right, because that's the way format is, and plus things like I said, that you can change these things at any point in time. So right now, if it is 50% off, it is 50% off. If I want to change this communication, I can go at any point in time and I can change these things, right? So which you cannot do with these things. I'll just come back to that PPC CPC difference. So sure. Siddharth, clear? Are you convinced on that bit? How is it that which bad will be the bottom three? Sanjana, I'll come to that. That's an entire detail auction process we will discuss today. Okay. PPC is this platform. Okay, so I can say that. Okay, let me just show you what we're going to work on. So this is the back end of it. It's known as Google AdWords, right? This is where we will be going and creating our account, and this is where we will be working. So this platform, this kind of advertising, especially the search bit that we have just seen, so that kind of advertising works on PPC. See, this is saying Google PPC online advertising, right? So why? Because we are paying per click. Okay, so that's the method of payment, let's say. So we will be paying per click, right? While that money that you will be paying, right? That per click money that you will be paying is known as cost per click. Okay, so that 10 rupees will be known as cost per click, CPC. Okay, that will not be known as PPC. That is CPC. That 10 rupees is CPC. Okay, let me go back now. So we'll go back. This was just to give you a demo of what we are going to be talking about. So, but let's go back to some bit of theory, and then we will come back to the Google AdWords bit. So this is about the consumer journey, right? What is this consumer journey bit? Is that in traditional marketing also we have been studying, like forever we've been studying about that there is a consumer journey, and there are how consumer goes and gets exposed to your brand, to buying your brand, to post buying behavior or post buying judgment and things like that. So that is something that we've studied in traditional marketing also. Now with digital marketing, where does digital come into this? All this theory is what we'll see. So first of all, Procter and Gamble, they decided that there are three critical points, like three important points in this consumer journey, from to with knowing the brand to buying the brand and beyond. There are three critical points, and they called them as first moment of truth, second moment of truth, and third moment of truth, right? So first moment of truth was where you go and see the product at the store shelf, right? So what happens is, where we pick up the product, we'll see what is the labeling, what is it, what are the constituents, what are the features, benefit, what are the features. So whatever they mention, so we'll see how the shelf placement and everything is. So that is the first moment of truth. So that's when you know something about the product more. Second moment of truth is when you go and use that product. So when you go and buy the product, rather. So when you have bought Yeah, second of moment of truth is when you have bought that product, and uh, and then third moment of truth is where you go and understand how this product has, see this these things rather here on the side: stimulus, purchase, and experience. So third moment of truth is when you go and experience that product, and you judge whether it has come up to your expectations or not. The reason you bought it, the very functionality that you bought it for, is that good enough or not. So all these things you go and judge, right? So you experience, you judge. That is your third moment of truth. So first, second, and third, this is how they coined it. And then Google went and added something known as, Google went and refined this a little bit, and Google added something called zero moment of truth. So Google saying that it's not just these that they are critical points. There is one very very important point where sorry, not Google, where people are going and researching online, right? People are going and searching for information online, and they are like everywhere. They are on social media. They are on Google. They are searching, and they are shortlisting, probably partly making that purchase decision also, right? So it's after that that they will go and decide, so if I have 10 brands that I'm thinking of, I will go and curtail. After all this research, it might become 3 brands, right? It might become 3 brands, or maybe one more brand gets added, it becomes 4, which was not part of my initial list. So all this happens within the zero moment of truth. And then you go and you can probably, it can happen with a, let's say, if I plan to buy a car, right, I'll go and figure out which are the segments, right? Which segment is what I'm looking at, and then which are the cars. So all this information I can easily find online, and then I'll then visit those showrooms rather than visiting all the showrooms, for the sake of vicinity, or because I've heard about them. So not that. So this zero moment of truth is making a lot of difference, right? Where I'm doing this shortlisting and all that online. Now, so then it was stimulus, shelf, and experience. Now it is stimulus, zero moment of truth, and then shelf, experience. And also, if what I experience, I will go and share it online, right? When I go and share it online, then it will become part of the zero moment of truth for my family and friends, because they will be exposed to what I have written on my social media or anywhere, right? So reviews, ratings, search, community, word of mouth, videos, product comparison videos, maybe product comparison sites, all these things, right? Articles. So all these form part of the zero moment of truth. And the idea, the why we are understanding this here right now, is that you ought to be present in this zero moment of truth, right? This is the reason you have to be present, um, because the journey has changed, right? And that is why you ought to be present for the consumer here when they are looking for you. So when they are looking for you, you make sure that you are present, otherwise you have missed that opportunity, right? So zero moment of truth. And then this is just one more variation of it, by somebody called Brian Solis. They have this person's gone and made added one ultimate moment of truth, right? Ultimate moment of truth, where they've said stimulus is there, zero moment of truth is there, first moment, second moment, and that sharing part has been segregated in this particular concept. The sharing part, so when you judge and experience and evaluate, after that, that sharing online, so when you go and share online, that part has been segregated, and it's known as ultimate moment of truth here, right? So that's another one. So from Brian Solis. Is this clear to everybody what this all this is about, and why you ought to be part of it? So just some theory here. Micro moments. Now that's another way that we are looking at things, that people are going online, especially with the advent of mobile. People are going online with all these little for all these little solutions, little moments, right? So I want to know moments. I want to go. I want to go. I want to do, and I want to buy, right? So people are quickly going and using their smartphone for all this. So you so I'll just share a video, so you can watch this at your end, just about 2 minutes I think. Just watch this at your end and let me know when you're done. We'll just wait for everybody to finish a few more seconds while you can go through this slide as well. Right. So you ought to also become part of these micro moments, right? So you build content around it, right? So you build content around things that matter to your consumers. You be present, in terms of the solutions, whatever, in brand, or just with content and all that. So that's a lot of things involved into this. But the idea is to be present with the consumers in the micro moments, and not just just keep giving a one way communication about how great your brand is, right? So that doesn't work anymore. Now, what is search engine marketing? So we've already discussed that there's a PPC bit of it and there is an SEO bit of it, right? So SEO bit of it, which will be improving the organic search ranking, and PPC is the advertising part of it that we're talking about. So SEO versus SEM. SEM, or let's say PPC. There's sometimes these terms are used interchangeably also online, but uh, let's understand the concept basically. So SEO is improving the website, getting better rankings. It takes more time. It's one aspect, right, where you work on your website, and it will give it will it's working on your organic results basically. Now this paid advertising part, it takes less time, so you can go and create an ad today and it will go on Google. It can go on Google tomorrow, right? So search engine marketing is over and above SEO and part of overall marketing strategy. Okay, so it's SEM is basically the this thing, right? We're talking of SEM here. So SEO and PPC, two things. And paid advertising, the PPC part of it, it's all paid, right? So it's all paid, and we pay per click, or we'll see more, right? So on search we pay per click. Where they appear on the middle of the page. These organic search results, right? We have seen this. They appear on the middle of the page. Now, some things here. So one more distinction here on organic search results. What you type, basically, what you are looking for, your query, your search query, what you type is matched to what is the content on that page, right? And then Google shows you all these results. So it is matched to the content on the page. Relevance, how relevant is that content, how popular are those pages, those things matter here, right? While in case of our ads, AdWords ads, which appear at top and the bottom of search engine result page, right? Search engine result page, SERP, which appear at the top and bottom of this page. In this case, what matters is which are the brands who want to be present on that keyword. It is known as keyword, right? So in your AdWords, so what we are going to go and do is we'll go and create one AdWords account, and we can say that I want to be present, my ad should be present on these words. So when people go and type something like this, right, my ad should show up. So we go and bid on certain keywords, right? Those are known as keywords. It can be a phrase, or it can be one word, it can be a phrase. Even if it's a phrase, five, three words, two words, maybe even a question, even then it is known as a keyword. And we as brands go and bid on certain keywords, and then Google will see that, okay, who are these brands who are bidding on this. So when search happens, Google will see who are the ones who are bidding on these, and their ads will show here. So it's not about the content on the page, but basically who all want to be present on that, essentially, right? So you go and bid on that, and your ads can show up on that. We'll see the details into this, but to understand how Google sees which one should show up, and then here what matters, we will see that. So our cost per click and our relevance, we will see that detail. Now, this is just some data, what is happening, which segment is moving faster and all that. Okay. Okay. One, sorry, I have not mentioned this. This presentation will be there in the LMS. Okay, so you can go and download it later on. So please do not worry about taking any screenshots or anything from the presentation. This presentation will be available to you, and this recording will also be available to you. So we will be sending the link of the recording as well in a few days time, right? But this presentation is already available to you, so you can go and download it afterwards. So this is your data. Now, what is Google AdWords? It was first launched in 2000, right? 2000 is when it started, and the interesting bit is that it is still the main source of revenue for Google. Okay, so while you will hear of Alphabet and you will hear of so many things that they try and venture into, the revenue actually really comes from here. Right, so this is the platform where we will go and create those ads, like those ads, and there is more. Okay, so that one part we've seen, but there's more. And just some bits that we need to understand here is that this completely works in your control, in the sense that you will go and create your account here, and you will decide what keywords you will bid on. So basically where you are going to show, you will decide, or there are other formats of advertising also. So everywhere you are the one who's going to decide where your ad should show. You will decide how much money you will spend, when will you start running these ads, when will you stop it. So you can go and start it anytime, you can stop it anytime. You decide the money you will put in, you can change that money anytime. You will write that ad. Okay, you will write that ad, you can change that ad anytime. All that, so it's all on you totally. You will get all the results, how many clicks and all that. So we'll see a lot of detail into results and reporting. So all the results on your ads you will get to see, and you can pause and stop all that anytime. Now, what are the possibilities, right? So possibilities, it's not just this third part we have seen right now, that your ad appears next to search results on Google, right? But then there are more things. What you know as banner ads typically, right? So you go on any website and you see those image ads, right? So you can also through Google AdWords, you can also showcase your ads in like over 2 million partner websites and mobile apps on the web. So when I'm talking about, so this is another part altogether. There is a Google search network, which we just saw. So there is a Google search network through which you will show your ads on Google and some search partner websites. Right? What are search partner websites? Search partner websites are some websites which have gone and partnered with Google on search. So there your ads will show up. There your ads will show up when you go and so see this one first. Then before we go to the display network bit, let's understand the search bit completely. So search, your ad will show up like this, right? So on Google or on these search partners as well. Your ads can show up on search partners. So this is a limited list of websites. Okay, this is not as huge. A limited few websites which have directly partnered with Google on search, and that means that if you go and type on their search engine also, you can see these same ads, right? So they are partnered with Google so that some bit of revenue they can also earn on their search engine. Now this is but you can, as an advertiser, you can choose that if you just want to show your ads on Google and not show your ads on these, you can decide that you can exclude them. But remember, here also, if you show your ad, you will anyway be paying only if a click happens, otherwise you're not going to be paying. Okay, then the other part, display network. What is the second part? Google display network. Over 2 million partner websites and mobile apps, which means that you can also, now this is completely different from search. Okay, so you can also show your ads on all these many different websites, and they will show up as image ads, video ads on many websites. The reach that we are talking about here is more than 90% of the web, right? So that's the kind of reach we're talking about, and you can really showcase your ads on many websites. Video ads as well, right? So the same websites can also have your video ads, or you can even have run some ads on YouTube through Google AdWords. So there are some ads, not every ad on YouTube, but some very popular formats are there that are part of AdWords, which you can run through here, being here. So now I hope you're getting sense of some people said, like, I have a website and I want to promote it. So that's these are the kind of things that we'll be learning. So we can see how we can promote our website using search ads. How do we get more people to come onto your website? You can run your ads across the web, display network ads or video ads. If you have video ads, then you can even promote them. If you have a mobile app of your own, right? So if you have a mobile app, and if you just leave it on the Play Store or the App Store, then what happens? You are basically trying to depend on organic growth, right? So organic growth will not be so fast, right? So you want to also go and promote it across. You want to run ads. You want more and more people to download your app. So there are some app ads also that we'll see. But here we will reach. Okay, so search ads is what we will see next week, second week. Display ads we will reach in the third week only. Video will be kind of display. So similar way you can create. So this part we will go in the third week, and the mobile bit we will go in the fourth week, where you can even go and promote your mobile app running different kind of ads. Do websites in the GDN? Yes, websites in the Google Display Network definitely share revenue with Google. So here, so if there is a website, right, there's a website and these banner ads run here from Google. That so this autotrader.com, right? They can even get direct ads. So somebody can directly, if they want to contact them, they can contact them, and if they they run ads directly, then they will get all the money. But in case somebody goes through a Google Display Network and their ads show up here, so this brand will go and pay to Google, but some revenue sharing will happen, and part of the money will go to this website. And then there is YouTube. So see this format that we are talking about. This format is that skip the one that we've seen, that you go and play a video on YouTube. And this is just one of the formats. I'll explain to you all the formats in the third week. So this is when you play a video, and you can skip it after 5 seconds, right? Very long running format on YouTube. See the display network one also. I'll show you one more. So if I go to a website, let's see if I can find display network ad right now. Some display ads also happen on YouTube as banner below a video. Um, it's like banner below a video. It's an image, or it's a download an app kind of one. Product images, you mean? So yes, there are variations. There are variations on YouTube where sometimes you will see mobile app downloads can be done. Sometimes you will also see, I've seen shopping images also coming up there. So there are variations of it, and yes, we will see what all things like the mobile app download bit especially. So all that we'll see, and there are some, yeah, so there are some ads that are static images, and when you click on them, then you go and watch a video on YouTube. So we'll see those formats, different formats when we reach there. So as of now, yeah, this one is. So see this page. So if I go and see this one, this is not coming from Google Display Network, right? The ones on the right hand side. Or if I go and see if I have any ads, um, I'm not sure. So see this ad on the top for sure, right? This one's coming from Google Display Network, right? This ad from top, right on the top. Right now we're seeing all text on this, but some it can be a mix of text and image, right? Or it can be all text. It really depends, but it is taking up this space. And this ad is coming from Google AdWords. How do I know? Is because if I see this I here, small I, if I go here, it says ads by Google, right? So this ad is coming from Google Display Network. So you can post such ads, and you can have your ads on many different websites across the web. So it's and many different websites on videos, on YouTube videos, video channels, So those places also, you can have sometimes static banners there. You can have videos, of course, on YouTube. You can have your videos running. So all those things, you can decide the list of websites, or you will decide a theme, right? Like a particular kind of website, technology websites or news websites, or those kind of things. So we'll see the detail into it when we reach there. But this is just to understand that this is a possibility, and you should be able to distinguish this Google ad from any other ad now. So from today, and from today to third week now, possibly you will see all of these, and then when we reach there, then we will see how we can go and create them. Okay, is this clear to everybody? This ad, how do I distinguish it from the other ad? Yeah. Okay. So there are text ads. We've seen this. Responsive ads. It's just a format within Google Display Network ad. So when we will create that, we will see. So it can be an ad which will be all text, or it can be text plus image. Sometimes there will be a logo. Sometimes there will just be a arrow, right? So we'll create these. And image ads, app promotion ads, where you are running ads to promote your app on search, whether it is on search or display network or YouTube. You can promote your app. Video ads, right? So video ads, where these are part of this mostly is essentially Google Display Network. Okay, there is one part of search to it, as in if you go and search something on YouTube, then also you will see some ads, right? So that part of it is part of search network in a sense, but otherwise it works mostly through Google, like a Google Display Network campaign. So these video ads, and then there are these shopping ads, right? Those we saw on that Google page. This, which is a banner ad? Yes, Sapparni. That was a banner ad only. That same place. It can be all text, right? It can be all text. It can be an image. Sometimes you might see it as all text, but it will occupy the same space. Yeah. So product shopping ads. Now this is another kind of an ad which you saw on the Google search page, right? You saw that buy furniture online. The top of that also these ads were appearing. Now these ads are only for product. When you're selling products online, then this is relevant for you, and you can go and create shopping campaigns. You can post these ads on Google, so where your product will show. There will be a product title, a link, a price, your store name, all that will show up on Google search. And this is part of Google search network. Okay, it is not on Google, it's part of Google search network, and your ads will show on all these, and your ads will show on Google search. And again, since it's part of search, only if somebody clicks on this, you will be paying a certain per click amount. Okay, it's part of Google search and search partner websites. Showcase shopping ads is just a variation of the same, right? Where an image and description that expands when clicked to show several related products and information on that same ad, right? So it's just a variation of shopping ad. So one more kind which you may use, right? If you have enough images and all that, then you can try and use that. Otherwise, it's just a format. It's just an extension of the same. Call only ads is a different one, where if you are a business where where you rather than taking people to your website. So suppose I have I'm running a spa business, so people don't go on a website and book appointments and all that. Rather, people will call up possibly, right? So then I don't want that to direct people to my website. I want them to call up. I can run an ad like this, where the number will be the headline, and this number, and when somebody clicks, they don't go to the website like like any other search ad, but they click, and the number gets saved onto their keypad, and then they can call up. Okay, so this is a specific, again very specific, for a specific requirement. You can also run call only ads if you want. Yes, so since they are on search, it's per click basis. Now the per click amount really differs. There's no one amount. So we'll see that how that works. Okay, so now we coming to that question where everybody had that question that, why, how do my ads show up on the first position rather than the second position, or rather than the seventh position? How do I go about this? So the answer to this, and this part will not be going back to, anytime, it's just to understand that what goes behind the scene, so that you understand what are the things you need to focus on in your advertising. Okay, so when you are really working, you don't have time to get into all this so much. I mean, you can see your quality score and all, but it's essentially that this should be there all at the back of your mind all the time, that what are the things that I need to ensure they're good on my ads, right? So ad auction, basically what happens now, so we saw that, um, I can go and bid on a keyword, right? Remember that part where we said that I can go and bid on a keyword and I can say that I want to be present on that keyword. But I will not be the only one to bid. Okay, all my competitors, everyone wants to be present on that very, very core keyword, right? Because most of the people will come and type like that and will be looking for me. So so then what happens is all these brands together enter into that auction process, right? They enter into an auction, which means that every time a search happens for a keyword, which, every time a search happens which matches with that particular keyword, then Google will see who all are present, which all advertisers are bidding on this keyword, and then this they will be part of that auction. Right now, auction means that everybody is bidding. Okay, everybody is bidding on that keyword. So that everybody is bidding a per click amount, right? Everybody has a CPC. So I might say that I will pay 10 rupees per click, my maximum CPC, or my bidding amount, or my maximum CPC, maximum cost per click. I might say that I will pay 10 rupees per click. Somebody else might come up and say that I will pay 12 rupees per click, right? Or somebody else might be bidding right in their account. So they're just bidding in their account. There's somebody else might say 14 rupees per click. So whatever is that is called as maximum CPC. That is my bid amount. But like what happens in every auction, we know that everybody bids an amount, and whoever is the highest bidder will get to win that product, right? So here it is not like that. Okay, here the auction process is somewhat different, where only your bid amount will not be taken into consideration. There will be something else also. So what will be it? Has everybody understood it so far? What is this auction all about? Who all are part of this auction? Right, okay. So then what will happen in this auction is that, and remember that every search is an auction, right? So every search, when you go and perform one search, there is an auction that happens at the back end, right? And whatever is the result of that auction within that fraction of a second, that is what you see. Okay, and if you go and refresh that page, then another auction is happening, another search, another auction is happening. Now in that auction, for everybody, like for each advertiser, their ad rank will be calculated. So for, if I'm advertising, first of all, they will see what is my maximum CPC. So I said 10 rupees. Okay, so they will see my 10 rupees. Then they will see something called quality score, which we will see in some time. So then they will see what is my quality score, and then together it will be together these, ad rank is equal to function of maximum CPC and quality score. So together these two things will be seen, and then my ad rank will be calculated, right? So ad rank will be calculated, one ad rank will be calculated for my particular, in that auction my ad rank will be calculated. Then the next advertiser who is going in, bidding 12 rupees and they have a certain quality score, their ad rank will be calculated. Somebody is bidding 14 rupees, they have a quality score, their ad rank will be calculated. Now ad rank will just be one number, right? So whoever has the highest ad rank will get the number one position, the second highest will be getting the second position, and so on. So that is what is happening in that auction, right? So ad rank is deciding the ad position. Ad rank is dependent on two things. One is the CPC bid, right? That bid amount. But that's not the only thing. The other thing here is quality score. So now the question is, what is this quality score that is making so much of a difference, right? So now, quality score is about three components. One is your click-through rate, relevance, landing page experience, right? Three things that Google will check, and Google will give you a quality score from 1 to 10. Okay, 1 to 10 on each keyword. Okay, so on each keyword you will be getting a quality score, and you can see your quality score. That's possibly the only part you can see. Of course, you know your bid amount, but you can't see what happened in each and every auction, who were your competitors in every auction, and what was their bid amount, or what was their quality score, or all those things you cannot see as of now. So but you can know what is your quality score on a certain keyword, and that will depend on these three components. One is your click through rate, right? Click through rate is how often are your ads getting clicked, right? How often are your ads getting clicked? So which means that, like a percentage, right? So if 100 times my ads show, if they are clicked 4 times, let's say, then my CTR, or click through rate, CTR it's called in short, so my click through rate will become 4%. If my ads show up every 100 times my ads show up, if they are getting clicked, like let's say an average of 5 times, so my CTR is 5%, right? So that, the higher your CTR, the higher will be this component, right, of your quality score. Which means that, of course, why would somebody click on your ad, right? So you search, they see your ad, they see other ads, right? So clicking on your ad will require that there's, your ad should be written well, it should have good communication, maybe good offers, maybe something that should be relevant, people are, this is what they were looking for, right? So all that can increase your CTR. So CTR is one. Second is relevance. For the first time, so CTR will be reported anytime now, but how will Google assess this? Yes, Google can assess based on the expected CTR when they begin, right? So they assess based on the expected CTR because they have a lot of data at their end, right? So based on that, also they can assess things. Yeah, relevance is when, so if somebody's showing up on a keyword, their ad is showing up on a particular keyword, then the ad should also talk about the same thing, right? So it should not be that, if you go and search for something, and you see an ad that's completely, not related, or maybe, we're talking about, so suppose, in this example only, buy furniture online. If I particularly go and say buy living room furniture online, then I should see ads that talk about living room furniture specifically, right? So being specific, right? So that I should see exactly what I'm looking for. And then when I click on that ad, then the page that I will go to after clicking on that ad, that is also something that advertiser decides, right? So advertiser decides that if people click on this ad, which page will they go to? So you can totally decide that. And if I go to a page, I should there also find the same information, right? You should not be talking about something completely different, or 10 other things on that, right? And this is just a very small part of it, so it should not be like that, that part from searching that keyword to the ad copy to the landing page, we call it landing page, right? So that page that I will land on, so all that should be completely relevant, right? It shouldn't be that the ad copy is not relevant, or if ad copy is relevant, the landing page is not relevant. Then if it is not relevant to the user, this component of yours will get less score. Now then, landing page quality, or it is basically landing page experience for the user. So if I land on your page, right, what are the things that I want to look at? Let's go to the next slide. So if I land on your page, one, ROTN here it's mentioned as, so one, of course, I want it to be relevant, right? I would like it to be original, not coming from a fake brand and all that. I want that, so Google is going to assess all these things, right? Google is going to assess all these things, that it should be transparent, whatever is mentioned, there's no discrepancy, there's no kind of, you mention some offer and then it's all not clear, it's so no ambiguity and all that. So it should be all transparent, your page should load fast, right? If I'm coming on here, I don't want to see loading, it's just the page is so slow, those things I don't want to see. Then The page should be clutter free. You should not add too many things on that page. It should be navigable, right? So all the tabs that you have laid out on that page, they should be neat, and I should be able to understand where will I go to exactly find this particular information. So that is how that landing page should be. What else? The landing page should also be mobile optimized, right? Landing page should also be mobile optimized, because if I'm coming in from a mobile device and there is a form up there on your page, so it should not be like on the corner of your page where I'll just somehow pinch and zoom and reach that corner, try to somehow fill up that form, and even then that's, the submit is not working. So it should not be like that. Your page should be completely mobile optimized. Everything should be laid out. Everything should be so, and that's the technical part. That's the part of the developer. So page should be mobile optimized. So while these are things that you don't work on, right? So as an advertiser, you will not be working on some all those development part of that of your website, but you need to ensure that these things are doing well, right? These things are done well. So you should know that these things will also impact your advertising, right? So all these together will Google will see, and Google will give you a quality score, right? And this quality score, along with maximum CPC, your bid amount, will decide your ad rank. So that doesn't mean that if you just bid high, you will get a high ad rank. Your quality score can actually take down your ad rank. And about the emphasis, somebody asked, so remember that Google has that, it's completely with Google, and they will always give emphasis to quality, right? So just because if somebody tries to bid very high, they cannot get a high ad rank. The Google will give a certain emphasis to quality, and if the quality is, let's say, below par, okay, they can also decide a cutoff and say that, below this, if the quality is, we will not show the ad at all. So these things also they can decide. So the quality is that important. Deepti, CTR is click click through rate, which means that how, and as an average, out of every 100 times, how many times my ad is getting clicked, right? So every 100 times my ad shows, if it gets clicked, let's say 2 times, then my CTR is 2%. Okay, so basically how many, you divide the number of clicks by the total number of times your ad shows up. Clear? What do we consider highest CTR as? There any standard as per your experience? Yes, impressions. I didn't want to get into the term right now, but yes, impressions. I'll discuss all the terms later. After the break, we'll discuss. When do we consider highest CTR? Is there any standard as per your experience? Um, No, there's no highest CTR, right? But there's a benchmark CTR that is like, on search, if you should have, at least like 2% CTR on search. If it's getting below that, then you should review your ad, right? You review the ad, or the targeting, all that you should review. So that is what. And but you can get 5%, 6%, more than that also. It depends totally on the pull. For brand keywords, if you have a very strong brand, you have brand keywords, you can get even very 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 high CTRs also, right? But 2% can be a benchmark, like a decent rate that you should get on search. On Google Display Network, though, you will see that you get lower CTRs. You get a lot of visibility on Google Display Network, but you get lower CTRs. So there, even a 0.8% has been traditionally considered to be a decent CTR. 0.8. Okay, so this part, um, ad rank is a function of quality score and maximum CPC. Um, Now there is one more aspect to it, that we understood that the ad ranks will be calculated and all that. So I'll just close this. So ad ranks will be calculated. So we've seen that basis that Google will decide that, okay, the advertiser B is at the number one position, and the advertiser A should be at the ad rank. Not ad rank will determine the ad position. So that 1 2 3 is called as ad position. Okay, so B is on the number one position. They decided that advertiser A, whoever they are, is at the number two position, and number three position they've decided advertiser C, and so on. Right. So suppose this has been the result of the auction. Now the question is, how much should they pay? Okay, so now first of all, we have seen a term called maximum CPC, which was our bid amount, right? So maximum CPC, we have seen it is our bid amount, where somebody said 10 rupees, somebody said 12, somebody said 14. I'm just giving any numbers. Now what Google has to charge them also. Now they've already decided this is the position and all that. When they are deciding how much to charge them, right now they can't charge people exactly just what they've quoted, because this auction process is not what we can see, right? So since I cannot know what others have quoted, I might even bid at 18 rupees, I might bid at 14, I might bid at whatever. So just can't charge people based on that, right? So they have to have some system to it, some method to it. Now that method is what they use to arrive at something called average CPC, right? Or it's actually actual CPC, but in the account you will see it everywhere as average, because ultimately it's an average number. So what this is the final amount. Okay, this is the final amount that you will be paying. So what that means is that suppose you bid at 10 rupees, Google will eventually charge you for that one auction. They can charge you either they can charge you 10 rupees, or they can charge you any amount lesser than that, not more than that, of course, because that is the maximum amount you've already said. So they can charge you 10, they can charge you 9, they can charge you any amount lesser than that. Okay, so how that will work is, again, back to this formula, right? So they have calculated the ad rank of every advertiser, and they have seen that you are at the number one position because you got the highest ad rank. Suppose you bid at 10 rupees, right? Now they will see that if here they had 10 rupees here, right? Your maximum CPC was 10 rupees. But suppose if it was 9 rupees, right? So they will see that at 9 rupees, would your ad rank still have been maintained? Would you still have been, not like your ad rank, this number can reduce, but would your ad position have been maintained? So essentially what they're trying to arrive at is that what is the least, maximum CPC, what is the least CPC here that could have still maintained your ad position. That means that you could have still got a ad rank higher than the next advertiser. Okay, so if at 9 rupees, even if by bidding at 9 rupees your ad rank would have been higher than that of next advertiser, they can see 8 rupees, right? Then they see that if you had bid at 8 rupees, then your ad rank would not have been higher than the next advertiser. You would not have been able to get this position, right? Then they will charge you 9 rupees, because at 9 rupees you are beating the next advertiser. They won't charge you 10 rupees in that case. So they will charge you that minimum amount that is required to beat the ad rank, just beat the ad rank of the next advertiser. You don't have to have a margin. So it's not like if somebody's ad rank is a certain number, you have to beat them by a huge margin. You just have to beat them, and to just beat them, whatever is the maximum CPC that would have done is what they will charge you. I'll explain again. So I'll still explain again. So essentially, you bid at 10 rupees, right? You bid at 10 rupees. They calculated an ad rank. They said, okay, so by this by bidding at 10 rupees, you are here, right? Now now you have to be here only, because these ad positions have already been decided. Now they're just deciding the amount. So if by bidding at 10 rupees you are here, they will see 9, 8, 7, so which is that point? Probably they come in and they see that at 9 rupees also you would have still beaten A, right? Beaten, not. Now remember, it's not they're not comparing CPCs, they are seeing your CPC to compare the ad rank. So they would see that even if it was 9 rupees, you would have still beaten A. Okay, so then why should you pay 10 rupees, right? So you should pay 9 rupees. Then they will see 8 rupees. 8 rupees, they see that if you had bid at 8 rupees, rupees, then you would not have been able to get this ad rank. Possibly, then you would have not beaten them. So 8 rupees is not something that would have done. 9 rupees, by 9 rupees only you could have beaten, then why should you pay 10 rupees, right? So then they will go and charge B 9 rupees, right? Now suppose A has bid at 12 rupees, right? Suppose A has bid at 12 rupees. Now they will see in comparison to C, and then they will see that, okay, if A bid at 12 rupees, um, they are beating the ad rank of C. So so I'm calculating average CPC only. This 9 rupees will be your average CPC. Okay, this 9 rupees will be the average CPC, or yeah, let's say average CPC for now. Okay, average CPC. So now then, A. Okay, so now see again, A, for A it is 12 rupees, right? So they will again see 12, 10, 11, so suppose they find out that it is only at 12 rupees that they are beating the ad rank of A, ad rank of C, sorry. They are beating the ad rank of C. They Now if it was 11, then they would not have beaten. Then in that case they will be charged 12. Okay, so that actually, this amount here, in every auction it is known as actual CPC. But remember, there are so many auctions that are taking place, they can't be reporting to you the click amount of each and every auction. So they report to you one click amount, right? So that is why it is known as average CPC, and in your account everywhere you will see average CPC. Right, so this is the average of all the auctions that this particular keyword will be in. So this is about one keyword. One keyword, your bid might be 10 rupees, right? In one particular auction, you might be charged 9 rupee. In another auction, there are different competitors, there are different bids, there can be different ad ranks. You might be charged 10 rupee there. So they have to give you an average, right? So that average CPC is what you will see in the account. Is this clear now? Great. So similarly, you will be charged. So now see this, that it is possible that somebody is actually paying lesser and getting a higher position. That's how this auction is different, where somebody might be paying lesser and still get the number one position. Somebody might be at the second position and still be paying more. Right, so which is different, right? Why? Because there is also quality score into play. So if your quality score is good, then you may have to, if your quality score is really good, you may have to pay, like really pay lesser, especially over time you may have to pay lesser. Now that does not mean that you will bid very low, because remember, this maximum CPC has been you know considered to calculate your ad rank, right? You cannot lower this. If you lower this, then this also has to be competitive, right? Your maximum CPC bid has to be competitive. It does not mean that you can bid very low, but you may be charged lower if your quality score is really good. Okay, this part. How is this calculation different? Okay, that's done. If the CPC for A changes to 11, would that not change B's CPC? No, it would not change B's CPC. Because B's CPC is in their account. So B has decided what their maximum CPC will be. Okay, and in this auction, if if a particular CPC has been considered, then it can't change for this auction, right? Obviously, Sanjana. Right, so A, in their account they have said my CPC is 11, or B, in their account is saying my CPC is so on so forth. Maximum CPC, are you talking about average CPC? So average CPC is um, average CPC. Suppose if you're talking about average CPC, then average CPC for A is decided. Average CPC for A will be decided. Okay, let me go back to that example only. Then when we decide the average CPC for A, then we are considering that they have to beat the ad rank of C. When we are deciding the average CPC of B, then we are seeing that they have to beat the ad rank of A, like this. Okay, so B has to beat the ad rank of A has to beat the ad rank of C, and accordingly their CPCs are decided. Okay, so they are not related in that sense. Every time you search Saptparni, Yes, you will be able to increase your bid at any time. So anytime you can go into your account and you can go and change your bid for any keyword. But once, in that auction real time, you cannot change it. Like manual CPC, you cannot decide that. There are some automated things where they can look at signals and decide the bid. Does this go from bottom to top? It goes like this, Sanjana. So B has to beat the ad rank of A. So B's CPC will be decided like that. Average CPC, actual CPC. A has to beat the ad rank of C. So A's actual CPC will be decided on that basis, like this. So it goes like this, not bottom to top. B has to beat A has to beat C, like this. Do the advertisers get a list of average CPC account numbers or something in prior to bidding so they can go ahead? Yeah, you get to know suggestions on how much you should bid. On every keyword we will see suggestions. So Google will only go and suggest that you should bid somewhere here. Okay, average CPC is something that comes in later, so it will be reported to you that this is what you were charged. Okay, so average CPC will be reported to you later. Have I missed any question before? Let me just check. Siddharth, CPC and quality score. Okay, that we have seen. That I just explained to you that quality score will always be something that Google will definitely place emphasis on. For the first time, how do we see the city? Okay. Okay, cool. So this is all done, I guess. Now there is one more bit. Okay, we'll just see this part and then we will take a break. So here we are saying that, let's see some points here. The higher your quality score, the less you will pay, right? This we have understood. Now we are seeing something called ad extensions. Quality score is further boosted by the use of ad extensions along with your standard ads, right? So what are these ad extensions now? Now, why do they come into the auction? Because what happens is sometimes Google may have to look at additional things also, right? So Google may have to look at additional things. In that case, right, we talked about relevance, we talked about landing page experience, we talked about expected CTR, but is there something else they may look into? So they may look into your ad extensions as well. Now what are ad extensions? So ad extensions, there is a set format to this ad. Okay, there is a set format to this ad, and whatever extra is there, those are different types of ad extensions that you can add to your ad, some value add information so that you can add. And that let's see that. So here, see this ad that you see, this is a standard ad. Okay, this is a standard ad. When I say standard ad, it has a headline 1. Okay, it's a separator there, and there is a headline 2. Okay, this is a standard ad, and there are character spaces also, that today only will see that how many characters. So 30, 30, 80, all that. So how many characters you can write here, how much space is there, you can't exceed that space. Okay, so headline 1 separator, headline 2, this is called display URL or path URL, and then this is description line. Okay, this is the description line. So this is a standard ad, but you can add more things to it, right? So you can add, see here, do you see the standard ad? It ends here. Okay, it's ending here. So then what are these extra things? So you can add different kinds of extensions, like this is the site link extension. Okay, what is a site link extension? You are adding some more links, you are providing some more links to your website. So if I go and search this, and suppose I was looking for furniture exchange, or maybe this is something that's popular or whatever, so I might, seeing this ad, instead of going on this headline, I might go and click and try to find out what is this exactly, right? So if this is a popular page, relevant page, right, so then you can go and also promote this and add these ad extensions, site link extensions. This is another type of ad extension which are known as call out ad extensions, where so suppose there are some highlights about your brand, right, something that you want to highlight, some unique selling propositions, right, USPs as we call them, something you want to highlight, you can mention that. right here. And these are known as call out extensions, right? So if you see more, we scroll down, see these are location extensions, right? So if I click on this, I will be going to Google Maps, right? And I can see where this place is, right? If you see it on a mobile device, you can, like when you're on the go and you're seeing it on the mobile device, you can even navigate and see from, where you are. So you can exactly start that way and navigate, right? So you see this one, this is a price extension, right? From so and so price, right? This is a structured snippet extension. These are different types of ad extension. So structured snippet extension, it is known as, where you specify the types of things you sell. Okay, so you can specify some types of things you sell. Here, see, here also there is a structured snippet extension. These are very commonly used ad extensions. There are many types of ad extensions. See here, I have one slide on that. There are many different types of ad extensions, right? There are all these different types: site link, call out, structured snippet, call, message, location, affiliate, location, price, app, review, promotion. Now what you can do is you can add as many as you want, but the idea is to only add the relevant ones. So only if I'm looking for calls will I add any call extension. Only if I have particular, stores where I want people to go to, I will use a location extension. I will not direct them to my head office for no reason, right? Or I will, if I have some prices or some an app, so only what is relevant to me will I use. These top three ones are kind of very very common, because they usually are relevant to everybody. Anybody who has a, anybody who has a website will have some links, will have, anybody who has a business will have some highlights, some types of things, right? So these are kind of very very common, but there are all these different types. Based on your requirement, you can use them. To place them, there is no charge, right? To just add them, there is no charge. If some of these are clickable, some of these are not clickable, right? So the clickable ones, if somebody clicks on them, then yes, they are charged the you have to pay a certain cost per click amount, right? The same way, yes. So if they are clickable ones, then you pay a certain amount. Otherwise, there's no payment involved as such. So the idea why are we discussing it right now is because that auction part that we were discussing, these ad these ad extensions, you have to use them also in a relevant manner. All the ad extensions that you use should be relevant, okay, and should not like be totally out of place. They should be also relevant, and if they also work better for you, right, which means that if they are clickable and people are clicking on them, so these things can really also matter in your auction. Harpreet, yes. You see this now? What all? So it's not. It's recognition. Maybe it's, yes. It's recognition. It's awareness. You can provide. You have more space to showcase. More things you have to say. You can also promote all these different links of your app. You can promote your phone number. All these different types of things. You can promote different stores of yours. So there's a lot you can do. So we choose a combination of different. Yes, you can choose a different tag extensions. Yes, they are optional to use, but if you use them and you use them in a good way, like irrelevant, right, and they work for you, so these things can help you in that auction, so you should use them. Yes, value add, they're all value add. Call out is this one. This one is call out extension. This is one call out extension, this is second call out extension. They always appear in this format. Okay, you are highlighting some things about your brand. And this is structured snippet extension, where you are specifying the types of things you sell. So let's take a break here, right? Let's take a break, and when we come back, then we will go to what is remaining is that we will directly go and create an account first of all, right? We'll see how to create an account here, and then we will see how to, what is the structure within the account, how to create a campaign, right? So, and some terms also we have to discuss. Okay, so should we take a break here? We'll come back at about 11:55 is good for everybody. Oh. Somebody, tool for what? Sorry, somebody had asked this question earlier, that are there any tools to understand those, sorry, I missed that question that time. So are there any tools to understand this, the consumer journey bit, right? So somebody had asked that. So see, those things to evaluate, so basically what will happen is people will be on different parts of the consumer journey. Right, guys, I'll meet you at 11:55. I just want to answer this question. Somebody had asked this. So people will be in different parts of the consumer journey. Not everybody is in the same phase, right? So people will be in different parts. What usually addresses these things are market research, right? Markets research is one complete um, part of marketing, right, where all these things are evaluated. So you can have surveys and all online, they're online, they're offline, lots of different types of market research is used, okay, to understand how, the consumer journey, which part of the consumer journey is becoming important, or all that. So these can be evaluated like that. um yeah, even ad recall, those things are evaluated in market research. Sure, Joby. Ashish, what tool for what you want to know? Okay, guys, I'll meet you at 11:55 then. I think Ashish is also left. Yeah, sure. Oops. Hi all, are we back? So let's go. No, let's see. Any questions from you first? Any questions? Anybody has? Okay. Uh, yeah, Ashish, tell me. You wanted to know the tools for what? You have tools for deciding keywords, tools for understanding how much to bid. Okay. That's something that we will see when we see search in detail next week. So we will see one tool. Usually creating landing page is time consuming process. So is there any tool for easy creation of landing page? Um, so those things you can go through that blog link. Okay, so you can go through the blog link. There we have mentioned some the blog creation one. Okay, so now when you go to Google AdWords, right? So you can go to this particular link, adwords.google.com, and how do you create your account? Why we are discussing? Because there's one step that's very important. If you do not go through that, then it becomes a little guys get stuck. You know where what to do. So people do get stuck on that. So it says get your ad on Google today, start now. So we will click on this start now button here. When we click on the start now button, it will ask us what is your email address and what is your website, right? So now these questions, these things can be done later, right? So when you create your campaign, that time also you can mention your website and also you don't have to do all this right now. Don't fill this. Go and click on skip the guided setup. Very important step. Otherwise, they will ask you to set up your website right now, all the payment, everything right now. Let's just create an account and then we can go to the payment bit and all. Okay, so just say skip the guided setup. Don't fill all this and don't say continue. Say skip the guided setup. When you do that, all they are going to ask you are these simple things. One, what is your email ID? So basically, which Google ID you want to use for AdWords? You can mention the Google ID that you want to use. Then they will, post this step. They will ask you to log into that with your password. Country from where you are advertising, right? So country from where you want to advertise, and what is your time, and the time zone will automatically come in. Currency in which you want your billing to be done, right? So country and currency you have to choose, that's all. And once you choose these things will not be changed later for this account. So choose them correctly in the first go, right? And once you then say save and continue, they will ask you to log in for the password of this email ID, right? So that's all you need to do. Email, time zone, country, currency, and that's all. You log in, and then you will come in here, right, to Google AdWords page. When you come into Google AdWords, now at account level, you can go and set up your billing, right? So once you intend to spend on Google on advertising, you will have to set up billing at account level. If your billing is not set up, then none of your ads that you create here can go live. You can still go and create ads, but they will not go live. Okay, so you go to this top level, this button, tools, billing and settings, and then you can go to billing and payments here, right? Set up billing and payments. So then how do you set up billing and payments? So either basically you can pay by credit card, debit card, or net banking, right? So either you decide that first of all you mention your billing country is there already, and then you mention the tax information, registered, unregistered. If you go and if you say tax information registered individual, Then you have to provide this GSTIN number, right? And if you say unregistered, if you're unregistered, then you can go ahead as unregistered individual. You mention your name and address. Then you decide how do you want to make payment, right? So if you want to make payment by credit card or debit card, then you can go and say automatic payments. Then what will happen is you will be saving your credit card details here, just like we save. No audio for anybody else, or is it fine? It's working, it's fine, right? I i can't even get your name. It just says waiting for me. Which step, Abida? I'll just move the slide back. You were here. Creation of account is clear to you? Yeah, creating the AdWords account. Then you go here. This spanner button you see here, this one. So you go to this and then you go to billing and payments. So in case any you face any issues, so just for everybody again, I'm repeating that if we see that it's just at your end, then please log in again to go to meeting, log out, log in again. If that also doesn't work and if you think the connectivity is all good at your end, then please call the support number. Right. So you will choose your tax information, right? Whether you have registered or not registered. So then you will mention if you're registered, you mention your GSTIN number, right? This is the page for tax registered individual. This is for unregistered individual, and then it is about payment, right? So and then it's some details of yours you need to write, and then payment. How do you decide to pay, right? So if you save your credit card and debit card details, right, so then you will be given a what they will do is they will go and verify your card, right? And they will deduct a very small amount to verify your card. Once your card is verified, your billing is set up, then they will give you a credit amount. So whenever your credit amount reaches, right, whenever that credit limit, sorry, whenever that credit limit reaches, you will be charged. So basically, like suppose you're running search ads and then per click amount is something, per click, per click, per click. So whenever it adds up to that amount, right, so whenever your total spend has become that much, then they will charge you that. Then they will charge you that amount. I'm just saying that they will, if you save your credit card details, then they will give you a credit limit, and you can spend that much, right? So whenever you have spent that much in your account, they will charge you automatically. They will charge you. Your ads can then keep running, right? Your ads can keep running. They will charge you whenever that amount reaches, because your card details are anyway saved. All your payment details are saved. So that is one way of working. The other way is that you say that no, I will make some advance payment by net banking. So whatever money you pay through net banking, okay, uh, I'm talking about the total spend, right? Total spend, they will charge you just what you have spent. Okay, so if it is credit card, then they will charge you whenever your credit limit reaches. Okay, and when it is debit card, sorry, when it is internet banking, why is it happening to everybody? Otherwise, it's fine, right? It's fine from here. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, okay. I think the people will sort it out. So then they can notify you, but it is automatic payment, right? So it is automatic payment. They can deduct that amount. Your ads can keep running. It is to avoid that hassle of, of ads getting paused, right? So if you want that, the other way is to The other way is to go about the net banking one, where you pay a certain amount in advance, and whenever that much money you have spent, your ads will stop running. Okay, and when you pay next, then your ads will start running. So you, whenever that amount total money you have spent, your ads will stop running. Then you again make a payment, then again your ads can start running. So that is net banking. So that again, if you're very particular that but that way also you can start, that is also okay. Or you can just save your credit card, your ads can keep running in that case. So what the bigger advertisers do is they move on, typically we move on to an monthly invoice system, right? So we move on to a monthly invoice system then, so where the invoices are settled at the end of the month. What did you do say before payment setup? Before payment setup, I just said that this page you mentioned the tax information. Which link, Deepti? Oh, okay, okay. Don't worry, it's okay. It's this presentation will be with you. The recording will come to you, right? So don't worry if you have missed any part. Because I may not be able to exactly any part, like if somebody misses, not for like you or just for everybody, that I may not be able to say everything all over again, because even if I do, I'll probably tell you in short, right? So it's better that if you go through the recording, you will get all the details. We can use email ID to create AdWords account, any Google ID. Yeah. So any Google ID that you intend to use, you can use. You can create a new one or any one that you already have. Okay, now once we are done with this part, what happens in this? Okay, this will be also, by the way, the part of your assignment today will be to create an AdWords account and to create your first campaign. That will be our first assignment for today. A very basic campaign we will create, so that we'll go to. But first of all, let's see some more things. Any questions now? Is it all good now? Yeah. Account structure. So account structure, what this means is that once you create this account, now you have to decide how to structure what's within this. So within this there are campaigns, right? Within this there are campaigns. First of all, account is their unique email and password, billing information. This part we are done with. Now you have to go and create campaigns. So what are campaigns? Campaigns are basically that you will look at your business and you will say that this and this, these are the top categories that I want to advertise. Maybe not everything you want to advertise, or maybe everything you want to advertise. Whatever it is that you want to advertise, you select the categories, right? You can make campaigns out of them, and you say that I'll create one campaign for this, one campaign for something else, like that. So then those categories, I'll give you examples, but first of all let's understand this structure. Okay, so then now if I have a certain categories, I will have some subcategories that I can break it into, right? Some types of things within that, colors, variants, n type of things can be there. So then I can go and say, let me create some ad groups, and I will place all my subcategories from this category. I will place my subcategories within the ad group level, right? An ad group basically is a collection of keywords, all similar keywords. Now I'm going this way. So similar keywords, all similar keywords, because it's same keyword, so many people write in different ways, so many more words can be there and all that. So all similar keywords will go into one ad group, which is only one, everything is related within this because they are all similar keywords, and you have one ad here, right? Minimum one ad. You can write 3 ads so that you test out and see which ad is working for me. But essentially the ad is at the ad group level, which means any keyword can show any ad. So minimum one ad has to be there, so any keyword can go with any ad. So it's not like you are writing one ad for every keyword, it's not like that. Okay, so you have a list of keywords and you have separately, you have an ad. Now all of them have to be obviously related, right? And similarly you have one ad group here. Okay, and you can have as many ad groups, right? Here we have limits and all on how many campaigns, how many ad groups and all, also I'll tell you. But this is just one illustration of two campaigns and two ad groups within them. right? It totally depends on your structure, how many campaigns you will run. You may have one, you may have 50, right? It really depends on your scale of advertising, how many campaigns within that, how many ad groups you will run at one time, right? So within campaign there is a budget, there are settings. So budget, how much money you will spend on a particular category is something you can decide at the campaign level. And then of course at keyword level also you have bidding and all that, CPC, how much you will pay for CPC for every keyword, right? So this is how this structure is. Do you think that, what is this structure doing? If we had let's say all, if at the end of the day I have to bid on keywords, right? So why all this structure in place? If I can just put in a list of keywords and write my ads, why not like that? Is this bringing about something that we discussed before the break, something, some important element maybe that goes in the auction or something that it is bringing about, this entire structure is bringing about? What do you think? Why this structure? Relevance, right, Abida? Perfect. So it's bringing about that relevance, right? When I have a structure, when I decide where what should go, I'll decide what is related, what is not related, I'll keep all related things together, right? That's how I will build the relevance. So what will happen is, somebody who will go and search, okay, let me show it to you on an example. So now see here, I may have something like this. I may have one campaign for televisions, one campaign for cameras. Within television, I may break it into flat screen TV, plasma TV, UHD TV, full HD TV. I can have more ad groups. I may have, different ad groups for different sizes of TVs, right? So all that I can create as many ad groups within that. Similar things I can do with the cameras. So this is how my basic. This is just a basic example of how campaign structure can look like. So see some more. I may be a Furtado's music shop, right, which is a chain of stores selling musical instruments in Mumbai, right? So, and they are old timers, and they've been there for, I think, decades there, and they are popular, right? They sell musical instruments, but they sell only in Mumbai, right? So their targeting, which they will decide at the campaign level, they will decide. Now, see, this is what we are demonstrating here. Purple one here is the account level, right? This is the account level. Now they have created two campaigns, right? At the campaign level they can decide that they will be targeting Mumbai only, which means their ads will show to Mumbai, or people who are looking for Mumbai results, right? So that is, that's something that the campaign level they will decide. That is another reason, that's another something that the campaign does. What is the targeting, what is the location, that's another thing that the structure does, sorry. So you can decide your different locations, you can decide different budgets. So I may want to spend more on guitars, less on brass instruments, those kind of things I can decide. Now what I'll do is I'll break guitars into different ad groups, right? So I have electric guitars, acoustic guitars, lap steel guitars. I'll break them into all these different ad groups. Now all my electric guitar related keywords will come here within this ad group, all the electric guitar keywords, right? So maybe a list of 20 keywords I have, all of them will go in within that ad group, and I will write an ad in that ad group. What will that ad be about? What will that ad be about? Correct, Chandan. It will be about electric guitar. Right? So what will happen is somebody comes to Google and they search for, they write something about electric guitar. They write something like that, electric guitar, their search term. And then what happens, what they write will go and match with one of the keywords that I have in this ad group. Right. So then Google will decide that, so Google will go and say everything, if everything else is fine, auction, and your ads are approved and all that. So then your ads will, one, your ad has to show. So your ad that you have written ad for this ad group will show, right? And what ad would you have written for this ad group? Obviously you would have written about electric guitars, right? So then that person will see an ad which is about electric guitars. When they click on that ad, then they will go to a page that will talk about electric guitars, that will basically have all the electric guitars in that page, right? So which is the page that you would have given as an advertiser, you would have mentioned that page in that ad, right? So similarly for acoustic guitar, lap steel guitar, so people will just find the information, the correct information, they will be directed to the relevant page, and that's how it will work for them, it will work for you. Right now, on this, what else? On this, if I have to sell keyboards, right? So suppose I also have to sell keyboards, then which level would that go in this structure? What will I do? Right, if I want to advertise keyboards, right, exactly. So I will go and create a campaign number 3 for keyboards, and then I can break it up and go ahead. So exactly, perfect. So all of you are right. So I can go and create a third campaign. Totally depends on me that how I have to go about it, what all things I want to advertise. So totally depends on me whether I want to create one campaign or 3 campaigns and all that. What else? Similarly, this is Chumbak, another brand. They became popular with refrigerator magnets. They sell lots of different kinds of accessories right now. So if they have to, create just 2 campaigns, they may have more, but just 2 campaigns for the demo. So suppose they create a campaign for sleeves, right, which is like covers, and then they have laptop, iPad, notebook. Right here they have boxes, cookie tins, storage tins, accessory box. Right. So same thing we are doing just to showcase here that we're not trying to place everything in one ad group. Okay, so here a cookie tin, storage tin, cookie tins are storage tins at the end of the day, but we are placing them in different ad groups, right? So the idea is to break into as many ad groups as possible, right? Not try to put place everything into one ad group. If you can write more, be more specific, take people to a more specific page, do that. Okay, here also the other thing is that what is a campaign level thing for you may not be really a campaign level for somebody else. If I am another business, I go and sell musical instruments, but I also sell lots of other things, right? So guitars is not a campaign for me because I have, let's say, 10 guitars on my website. So guitars is like an ad group thing for me. So maybe I'll create a campaign for musical instruments. One of the ad groups for me will be guitars. Right, I'm talking about another business now. So the idea is that what is category top level for your business, you have to see based on your own business, right? What is top level for you, maybe an ad group level for somebody else, right? So what is an ad group level for somebody else, so same thing, right? So what's a category level for you, maybe a subcategory level for somebody else. So that you have to decide totally based on your own business, how you will break it up into. So you might break it up based on different product lines, you might break it up into based on different brands, or you may break it up based on different categories, different products altogether, or you may break it based because you may have different campaigns because of different locations, right? So because of different locations, maybe the same product, but for different locations you want to create different campaigns, right? So all there may be many ways, so that depends totally on your business. But this account structure is important to it's important that you decide this right at the beginning, so that you don't have to later keep moving things. Today you decide, create some other way, and then you decide, no, let me just place put copy all these keywords, move it somewhere else. You can do that. It's perfectly possible. It's just that all your history, that quality score, all that goes, right? So it's better that you think of the structure right when you've created the account. Okay, let's see one account structure. There's furniture campaign, right? And they have created a furniture ad group, and this is an ad which is about all kinds of furniture, and these are all the keywords. So what do you think? How does this work? What do you think about this? It's vague, Dipti. Ad group should be more specific. Okay, Sushmita, what else? So overall, what do you think about this? Not efficient, Joby? Okay. So correct, right? So because what's happening here, this is mega ambiguous. Okay. Not a good strategy, Siddharth. Right. So this is typically, if somebody doesn't know AdWords, I can tell you this, from my experience, and I've seen accounts. Typically, people who do not know AdWords, like clients who do not know AdWords, this is how they will approach. Because when they will go and create an account on AdWords, right? You can go and create an account. You can save a credit card details. See, these things are simple. But when they come in, the adverts will ask them, okay, go and create a campaign. So they will go and create a campaign, but adverts will ask them, give it a name. They will give it a name, furniture. They will ask, give it a, I have to create an ad group. So that is the structure. I'll just answer your question also here, Deepti. So I have a business. I have the flexibility to decide that as per my business, account structure remains standard. So the structure, that you have to have a campaign, you have to have an ad group with at least one ad group within a campaign, and within ad group you have to have a keyword and you have to have at least one ad, right? So that structure cannot be changed. Right now, what your campaign will be about, what the ad group will be about, how many ad groups you will create, how many keywords you will have, how many ads you will create, so those things you can decide, right? But that hierarchy we cannot change, right? So now what will happen is this client will come and follow this and go and create one campaign, create one ad group. It'll say that create ads, they'll write this ad, they'll say that all these keywords, they'll write all these keywords, but this will not work for them. Why? Because we've already seen auction, we've seen relevance, we've seen all of that. So we know that why this will not work for them. All these looking at these keywords, they will have many different themes, right? And different campaigns, possibly different ad groups and all that, that they should properly and clearly define and create. Right now, this is a bad account structure. So how do you restructure? You may have different campaigns, different ad groups there. This is just a demo of one campaign with two different ad groups, right? Considering those keywords, there may be much more. So one campaign can be created which may have these two different ad groups, like leather love seats, leather couches, right? And leather love seats, this is an ad, relevant ad, all relevant. Now see the list of keywords, right? So these are all related keywords. Somewhere buy is there, online sale, right? Leather couch, buy, online sale, discount. So there can be so many related keywords, right? So all related keywords in one place, related ad, and likely that when somebody clicks, you will also take them to related page. So themes, we have understood how we will decide what will be the category, subcategory. You will break your ad groups into as many as are relevant, and that will result in higher quality score, lower cost. You organize, okay, this is done. Now there is one, when we get into the account, you will see that there is one option where you can go and have a search campaign and display network, search network and display network in the same campaign. Okay, so this is just to say that we will not combine display network in the same campaign, because it will not give us complete control, right? So if we want to also, we want to work, we want to add, we can always create these campaigns separately, basically, right? And we can decide, even if it is a lesser amount, you want to spend very little amount, even then you can create these campaigns separately. So do not combine them in the same campaign, just to say that. Right, these are just the limits, right? How many campaigns you can have in your account, like what are the limits, right? How many ad groups per campaign, how many keywords per ad group, right? So this is just the higher limit, which are basically very high, so you don't have to worry about them, right? And all these targeting limits. How many ads you can have, negative keywords, this is something that will come to in the second week, right? Ad extensions per account level, per account, how many, per campaign, how many ad extensions can be there. So all that. Any questions on structure, account structure? No? Okay. So for of the terms we have already discussed, campaign, ad group, ad, keywords, organic search results, paid, auction, quality score, right? These things we know. Bid also we know, maximum CPC bid, at least the search part one we know. As we move to display network and all, we will see more. But maximum CPC as a bid we know. for now, that we can bid like that. Right now, just some more terms left here. One is impression, right? Impression means, yeah, conversions we haven't discussed. I'm just coming to that. Impression means that, what is an impression then? What is an impression? Harpreet, sorry, please be a little specific. What exactly you want to know? Correct. The number of times your ad is shown, right? So, are the number of impressions. Correct. So, impression means that every time my ad shows, it is one impression, right? Now, whether it is a text ad, whether it is an image ad, whether it is a video ad, doesn't matter the kind of format it is. Every time my ad shows up, it is one impression for that ad. Okay, and it will be reported in the account. So we won't have to count all these things. It will all be reported in the account. How many impressions you received, right? They will report to you like this. So if that ad appears, right, so they will say, when you go to the ad level, you will see against that particular ad in your account, you will see one impression, and it'll keep adding up, right? They'll keep adding it up. So one impression. If you go to the keyword, now that ad has appeared because one keyword matched, right? So for that keyword also, you will see one impression. Now this keyword and this ad are part of one ad group, right? So that ad group level also, you will see one impression. That campaign level, again, for that campaign, one impression, right? So at every level, they can tell you the number of impressions, the number of clicks, right? Clicks, obviously clicks, and then click through rate, which is your CTR. Now that click through rate, we have discussed this earlier. The formula for that will obviously be the clicks divided by impressions into 100, so that we can know it as a percentage, right? So uh, what's the percentage of times my ads have been clicked, right? So clicks divided by impressions into 100, and that will also be reported to you at every level. And then conversions, right? So what is a conversion now? Sure, I'll explain to you an impression. So see here. Now uh, this ad has appeared, right? So for this particular ad, it's one impression, right? Whatever this website, I've not heard of, but this is one impression for this particular ad for them, and that's how it will be reported to in their account. Now if I go and refresh this page, now if suppose this ad appears again, right? If suppose it's this, so if that ad appears again, then it will be a second impression for that ad. Okay, or that and that is how it will be reported in the account. Then they will report as two impressions, right? So this if it's the same ad, if it is the same ad, then it will be the second impression for that ad. Now then the same thing will happen whether if it's a display network ad, that banner ad, that SEM rush ad that we saw, right? So for them it is one impression, right? Or on video, it is a video ad of yours, it appeared once, it is one impression, right? So that's how it is. So it's impression from the advertiser's point of view that Google will update. Yes, yes, exactly. So you will, it's an impression for this particular ad, for that keyword, where the matching happened, from the ad group that this ad is coming from the campaign that this ad is coming from. Every level you will be able to see it in your own AdWords account. Right now, what are conversions? Sure, welcome. What are conversions? Anybody knows? Clicked on the ad and bought something. Yes. Goal completed. Converted. Conversion is when you reach your desired goal. Yes. Consumer completes the transaction. Perfect. All of you right. So conversion is when if when a click happens, right, the click will land on your website. Now on the website, what do you want the consumer to do? Do you want them, do are you a, are you selling something on your website, right? If you are selling something on your website, then you have a goal that you want. Okay, now conversion is not a necessary goal. It may be that you just want traffic to your website, right? It may be just that you're just generating brand awareness, you want lots of impressions, or maybe you just want traffic, lot of clicks, you just want people to come in and engage on your website. But conversion is obviously a goal for many businesses. And if you want that people buy, right, after landing they buy, right, then when that sale will happen, right, or when that sale will happen, then it is one conversion, right? Or if you are a different kind of brand, you're not really selling online, maybe you have a more high value product. Let's say you have a site and you want people to just come in, you're an auto brand and you have a website and you just want people to come in and fill up a form and book test drives, right? So they fill up this form, they write their name and phone number and city, right? And then what will happen, it will say that thank you, and our customer care, our dealer will get in touch with you, right? So that form has been filled. So for that business, it is one conversion online, right? Or you may have some kind of download, you might have some kind, you are a blog, you want some kind of subscription, so whatever is that goal, right? So they can be various, right? So you can have download, subscription, some registration, some form fill up, sale, whatever that is. So whenever that happens, it is counted as one conversion. Now this does not get reported right away, right? We will see a process, how do we set it up. In the third week we will see how will we set it up. So this Google cannot report to you right away because it is not happening on the ad, it is happening on the website. So we will set it up first, and then Google will be able to report conversions to you also at every level, right? From every ad, keyword, campaign, ad group, every level it will be able to report to you. Now clear? Yeah. So then the last one is daily budget. Daily budget is just the uh, campaign. At campaign level, you will decide how much money you will spend on a daily basis, right? So which is something that you decide at the campaign level only. You can't decide at ad group level or keyword level. At campaign level, you will say that this is the maximum money that I will spend on this campaign daily, right? Remember that it's like suppose it is 2000 rupees for me. So 2000 rupees, if I have set it, then 2000 it is for today, and again it is 2000 for tomorrow, and it will keep running, right? It will keep running again. So out of 2000, whether I spend all the money or not, it will remain 2000, right? And next day will again start with 2000, but you can go and change it anytime. So if I want to go and make it 2500 anytime, I can go and change it to 2500. But if at any time this daily budget gets exhausted within the day, so if my 2000 is completely spent, right, then my ad can get paused for that day, right? So which means if my 2000 rupees is spent today at 3 in the afternoon, right, then my ad will not run from 3 in the afternoon till midnight, right? And then the next day will again start with a fresh 2000 rupees. Yes, correct, Deepti. So if your 2000 is not exhausted, then also there is no carry forward. So the budget will remain 2000 only, right? So budget will remain 2000 till you change it. And also they will not even charge you that. Suppose you spend 1500 rupees only, and then that 500 rupees will not be charged to you, or nor will it be added to your daily budget next day. How do we keep track of the same? So you will get to see the spend also, they will tell you in the account. They will tell you your impressions, clicks, CTR, conversions, cost, all of that. Okay, so let's go and create a campaign then. Okay, there is some more. No, that's all. So when you go and create a campaign, let's see it in the account only. Any other questions in the meanwhile? What you can also do is, let's go and take some time, watch this video while I also log in. You can watch this video. It's a good video that will help you see how things are working. So this is Chumbak, that same brand that I spoke about, which became popular first with refrigerator magnets, right? Just see how they're talking about how Google AdWords helped them, when they were setting up the business. So just watch this. Let me know when you're done. Done? Okay, just let's just wait for everybody. So now what we will do is we will go and create one campaign, which will be one search network campaign, right? So search network campaign we will go and create today. And the interface of late has been a little slow. I don't know why. So what we will do is we will go and select which type of campaign we want to create. So when it says when we say create a campaign, right? So when we say create a campaign, it will ask us which type of campaign do you want to create. Do you want to create a search network campaign, a display network campaign, a shopping campaign, a video campaign, or a universal app campaign, right? So you will be given all these choices. Now, today, of course, we will go to the search network campaign, which says reach customers interested in your product or service with text ads, right? So let's say, see here, campaigns, and I'll say plus campaign. So I'll say new campaign. It says load campaign settings or new campaign. So if I had created any other campaign in the past, I could have said that, yes, I will copy the settings from that campaign. But since, we're starting a new, so we'll say new campaign. And then we will say what. So first of all, you need to decide all your campaign settings. See, it says search campaign, reach customers interested in your product or service with text ads. There is display network, which is about, the display network ad. Shopping ads. Video campaign is separate, but it is similar to display. And then universal app campaign, so where we'll we'll go there later on. So let's go to search campaign, and we'll say yes, we want to create a search campaign for now. Then it is asking me, what is the goal that you have? Do you want sales? Do you want leads? Or do you want website traffic? Okay, lead is like that, when you somebody fills up the form and gives their details, right? So do you want sales? Do you want leads? Or do you want website traffic? What is your primary goal? Why are you creating this campaign, right? So you can choose that. If you choose that, then essentially they will guide you through the campaign setup. They will give you the, the exact things, like they will tell you the right bid strategy to go by. So if you go by website traffic, they will just say manual CPC and all that. Or if you go by sales, they might tell you some conversion specific bid strategies. But let's not go there right now. And bid strategy is again something that we will see in detail next week. Okay, so those things they can guide you through, but right now let's just say create a campaign without a goal. Later on, of course, you can take this way and they will just tell you the choose things, for you. So we'll say create a campaign without a goal. Let's see all the options, right? Say select the results that you want to get from this campaign. Do you want website visits, phone calls, app download? Now these are mobile specific requirements. These we'll see later. We don't want phone calls and app downloads right now. We want people to come onto our website, right? This is what search does for you. Search gets you a lot of traffic to your website, gets a lot of people onto your website, right? That's the one very very core reason that we create search campaigns. While a display network campaign can also get people to your website, but it also is more about visibility, right? This is a lot about getting people to your website. It gets, like we saw that CTRs are higher and all that. Now it is telling us that why don't you mention your business's website here. Okay, so I will give my business's website. I'm just mentioning any business, and I'm saying that this is the website that I have. Okay, suppose now this is the website I have. Let me see some more websites. Then I will go and say continue. When I go and say continue, so no shoe specific brands are coming in here right now. Anyway, so we'll continue with that. And then I'll say continue. So I have to now choose my campaign level settings. Yeah. So now it's saying enter a campaign name, right? So what is the campaign name that you want to give? Now this will depend on how you want to identify it as later. This does not have a bearing on how your ad will look like and all that. It is just about you identifying your being able to identify, and your team being able to identify your campaign later. So you give it a clear name, so what was this about. So if I'm creating it for shoes, I can give it the name shoes, right? Or whatever it is specifically that I'm creating this campaign for, I will give it that name. So right now I'm giving it as the today's date. Okay, but you can mention it shoes in this case. So now I say it's asking me, do you want to have search network is obviously there because I'm creating a search campaign, but do you want to include these Google search partners or not, right? So if I want to exclude them, I can say no. If I'm okay with having Google search partners, obviously it will go on Google, right? That's not an option. Search partners, yes or no, you can choose here. Add display network, yes or no. So I will say no right now. And then it says location, right? So by default these are showing up on my account, India is showing up. But if I want to choose any multiple locations or any other location, I can just simply search here and add them, or even exclude. If I want to exclude some locations, that also I can do from here. So suppose I want to target this particular location, right? So I can go and select that, this here, right? I can go and say target, so that I can add this location like this, right? Similarly, if I want to add another location, I can go and add it here. So I can go and add like this, right? So I can keep adding all my locations. So if I have more, or just like this, I can go and search and I can add them. What other option I have? I can also add by pin code. Rather than going like this, if I want to go and target a particular pin code, right, I can go and go about like that as well, right? So I can find my location and I can go and add that. Sorry, right? So I can go and add my pin code also. What else can I do? I can even go to advanced one, and I can go and say I am a local business. I don't want to show my ad to the entire city. I just want to show my ad around 2 kilometers radius, or 1 kilometer radius of my business, right? So I can enter the place that I want to show my ad around. And if I already have into added to Google My Business, I can even add my business location, so I can choose from there. So, or right now I'm typing and adding one, so I say this one, and I can see, right now I just kept it to this, but you can choose how many miles, how many kilometers within that. So you can, then your ads will show only around that radius, right? So if you have a local business and people will typically come in only from that area, then there's no point spending money everywhere. So then you can even do a radius targeting like this and save it, right? Click on save, it will get added there. So like this, so you can choose whatever you want. How beneficial is it to add the Google search partner? So it's fine to add the Google search partners. Two reasons: one, you will be paying only by click anyway, right? So you will be paying only if a click happens, one. And second, that the location is anywhere there. So even an ask.com, even if it is not so popular, you will only have impressions, right, when it is being searched from here, right? When your particular location is there, so only then it's okay, right? So you're paying only per click, it's just extending your reach, right? Languages, and it's not a like a huge list of websites typically. Okay. Languages, budget now. So as of now, we will put any budget, right? Next week when we decide what budget will work for us and all that. Okay, so that we'll see next week. Now delivery method. So what is this? It's saying add delivery method, standard or accelerated, right? So standard or accelerated is when like I told you, that what happens is, if I say 2000 rupees, if 2000 rupees gets over, right, then my ad will go and stop running, right, for that day. So if I don't want that to happen, right, I can go and choose the standard delivery method. What Google will do is, Google will see, okay, is 2000 rupees sufficient to show your ad throughout the day or no? If they keep showing your ad all the time and clicks happen at a certain rate, then your money will get exhausted, by noon or by afternoon or something. So they will, what they will do is, they will not show your ad at every possible opportunity. They will not include you in every auction. They will show your ad so such that the clicks, the ad is shown evenly throughout the day, show that, so that based on their calculation, the money of yours is spent evenly throughout the day, and your money doesn't get spent like only in the early part of the day. So your money gets spent evenly throughout the day, and your ads never completely stop running. Okay, while you may not be showing up always, your ads will never completely stop running. So your ads will not get paused, right? And so that is standard delivery method. The accelerated delivery method means that If you go for accelerated delivery method, your ads can show up at every possible opportunity. So Google is not optimizing your ad delivery in this case. So your ads can show up at every possible opportunity. And if that means that your ads get paused, whatever time of the day they get paused, right? So now why is this mode there then? Suppose if you have that kind of monies, right? If you have that kind of monies that you can spend, whatever is required to be present throughout the day, um, and get as many clicks, spend as much, then it's fine, you can go by that. Or suppose you are on a very very niche set of keywords and you don't want to, you want to spend all that is required in that much, you can do that. Or maybe you have limited timings in which you are showing your ads. So suppose you are a business that shows ads only in the evenings or only at night. Suppose you are a night cab, you're running night cabs, and you're showing ads only around, let's say, 4 hour window at night or evening, right? Then and you're okay with that much, right? You're okay with spending that much money. So then you can go by accelerated mode also, right? So that depends on you totally. So you can choose your delivery method, standard or accelerated. Now, next is bidding strategy. Bidding strategy, you can go and right now for today. So since there are so many bidding strategies, we'll see it as a separate topic next week. For now, you can just keep it to manual CPC, right? And not check this option also. So it's just manual CPC, what we have discussed so far, where I'm saying that my bid will be 10 rupees or 12 rupees. So I'm manually setting it. Okay, so that is manual CPC. Then start and end date, right? So I'm saying I'll come to all your questions once I finish this page. So start date, I'm saying that um, start dates, I'm saying that uh, when my campaign is supposed to start. So if I keep it as to today's date, it may not necessarily go live today. It is subject to approval. Google also approves your ad. Once you have created this, it will go to Google. Google will approve, your ads. And once they have approved, then your ads will start running, right? So that can take typically one business day, right? So then only it will go live, right? So typically one business day, it will go live. So this is subject to approval, and you can also keep one date in advance if you want. Like if you have the time, you can keep a date in advance. It will get approved and it will go live on that day. Then end date is none or select a date. So if I leave it as none, which I can do, right, which a lot of advertisers prefer, because I may have an ongoing campaign, so I don't want to pause it, I don't want to not show up on ads, my paid ads, right? So I can leave it as none, or if I want to monitor it later and later decide, I can leave it as none. But if I have a limited I have already decided that I will be running it only for so much duration, or only because this is a festival specific campaign, or something like that, some event specific campaign, and it has to end on that day anyway. So then I can set an end date, so automatically my campaign will end on that day. But remember, if you set it as none, your credit card is set up, you have a daily budget set up, it will keep running. Okay, it will keep running till you go and pause it. Now you don't need to get into these two audiences. I'll explain to you a little while later. Is going to add extensions. Now see, all these add extensions are there, so you can choose whichever type of add extensions you want to create. You can choose. The process of creating each and every add extension will be the same, where you will click on this, add that add extension, select it, and save it. So that's all. So it says site link extension. I will click on this, and some of the ad extensions that I've already created will show up, or I can scroll down, I can say new site link extension. So when I say new site link extension, I need to fill this out. Okay, same process for all all extensions. So I need to fill out what will the text, right? What will show up on that extension if I want to add description lines and all. But if your text itself is saying the same, text itself is describing it, then you don't need to get into description lines and all. Then final URL, right? Because every extension can have its own URL, right? Every other pages, you are showcasing other pages on your website. So final URL of that. So you'll copy paste the link of that page, right? So the page that this extension should go to. And then there are advanced options that you can get into, or you can skip it also. So
text and final URL is mandatory, right? So you can get into advanced options if you want to say that, my preference is mobile, or even for this particular ad extension, I want a start date, end date, right? So if you have something specific requirement like that, then you can mention a start date, end date, or otherwise by default it is going to run all the time, right? Or any ad scheduling and all that if you want to do for this particular extension. Then once you finish all the details, you say save. Once you say save, it will all get saved here, right? All your ad extensions will get saved here. Then you can select the ad extensions that you want for this particular campaign. So you scroll down, you go and say, let's say suppose I want this ad extension, I want this ad extension, right? So these are already created in my account, I'm choosing those. I don't want this one, I want this ad extension. Suppose these ad extensions I'm choosing right now, and don't worry about the disapproved bit because that is about billing. Okay, so now this is done. Now suppose I want call out extension. Okay, same process. I will click on this, I will fill that out, I will select it and save it. So I will say new call out extension. Remember the one with dots, right? So which were highlighted. All it needs, this is not clickable, so all it needs is this text. So you can fill out this text. If you want to go to advanced options, the same advanced options you can call out text, you fill it out, save it. When you save it, similarly you save all those little phrases, right? And they all come up here, and then whatever call out extensions you want to select, right? Suppose you want to select this and this and this, so you go and say this, right? So you select all these, so you can select your call out extensions like this. Or if you want to add phone numbers, if you want to add types of things you sell, right? Structured snippet extensions, so you can similarly you can go and fill this out, plus and fill this out. What is the header, right? Header will be brands that I'm selling, courses or hotels or destinations or shows or styles, right? So whatever, I can choose that, and then I can fill the value 1, value 2, value 3 and save it. It will automatically appear in that format with colon and commas, right? So I go and choose this then. So I can go and select this. So if I go and select this, it will be saved. So it's taken to the right hand side. Similarly, I can go and add any app extension, right? Some of these are clickable, like app extension is also clickable. So if I have a mobile app, only then, right? If I want people to message me, send a message, this is a relatively new one. So message extension, promotion extension, if I have some kind of promotion, percentage of, X rupees of price extension, so I can add all the same process. You can fill it out, save it, right? So you can add as many ad extensions as are applicable to you. Then and then you go to add rotation. Okay, just let me finish this. So add rotation is when I have one ad group, right? Now I have created one ad group. I have, let's say, 3 ads there, right? So if I have 3 ads there, because I wanted to, why have I created ads? Because I if whichever is working fine, I'm good with that, right? So whichever is working fine, I'm good with that. Then I can say, you know um, optimize. So Google will optimize it, so basically Google will look at it and see that, okay, you have 3 ads, but this particular ad is working better, it is getting you more clicks or more conversions, right? So Google will then eventually start showing that particular ad more often, right? And not the other two. So that is auto optimization being done by Google, which you can select, right? If you've just written your ad, so whichever works is fine, then you can simply go by optimize. And if you say that no, let me monitor, I have different things that I'm saying, and I want to say all of them, and performance and all I'll check later on, so I will observe, right? Then you can say do not optimize. In that case, all of them will get an even chance of appearing, right? So that's optimize and do not optimize. Thus ads, the multiple ads within the same ad group, which one should show. Now ad schedule all day, that's default, right? The default is all day. If you have a business where you want to run your ads at specific timings only, it makes sense like that, then you can go in here and change the ad schedule. Or later on you will have hourly reporting, daily reporting, weekly reporting, I mean, like day of week reporting, I mean. So all that when you see, and if you see any particular trend and all, you can change these things later. So yes, most of the things here, you can change all. It's not like I've created this campaign and it'll be like this only. I can change these things later on also. So I can go and change my ad schedule, my ad rotation, ad extensions. I can change all these things later on. I can even change my bidding strategy later on. So all of these things I can change, my budget, right? All of these I can change later on. Location, obviously, you should decide once, right? So all these things you can change later on. And then if you go over here, so you can see, you can select, so you can say Monday to Friday, what, this to this time, and then you can add and say Saturday, Sunday, this to this time, or whatever, right? Whatever is that timing, you can go and select that. This is default, all timings, all 24 hours. Location is just some more detail into location, right? So this is what location means by default, the first line. This is what really location means. If you are very particular, then you can change it. Okay, so once you've filled out all these, you can save this page. These will be all your campaign settings, and I'll just come to your questions. What is the minimum and maximum daily budget? Uh, no, there's no nothing like that. You can, even if you want, you can, you can just say 100 rupees, 500 rupees. You can set that, Dipti. So they have not specified anything like that. Are night rates low? No, no, Sapparni, it's not that. I was just saying that, if a particular advertiser has a particular time window within which they want to advertise, like say 4 hours, 3 hours. So obviously, I mean, the number of impressions and the amount of money that will be required to spend in a lesser number of hours will be comparatively lower. And if they can afford that, right? So then they can go by accelerated mode, right? There also they can go by standard mode, but it's, if it's if they can afford within that much time, right? You can view preview of your campaign and edit if you wish. uh yeah, so you can edit all these campaign settings, right? All these campaign settings, even the ads and all that we are going to create, keywords we are going to choose, you can edit all that. I can add as many, and preview I'll show you where, that comes later. We'll see where we can see if our ad is live or not. I can add as many extensions I want. As many extensions I want. Yeah, Sapparni. So you can add all these, any number, all these different types of ad extensions are there. Whichever ones are relevant for you, you can choose them. But having said that, it is on Google to decide how many extensions will show at one point in time. Extensions are options at the ad level. So if a campaign has several ad groups, will all the extensions appear for each of the ad within a campaign? Yes. What if we want different kinds of ads with different extensions within the same campaign? Yeah, so that's a good question, Siddharth. So it's right now we are creating the campaign. So all the ad extensions that they are asking right now, it's all at the campaign level. Okay, it's all at the campaign level, which means that any number of ad groups we create within this campaign, these ad extensions can go with any of the ads. And remember to check the relevance for that also. So this can show with any of the ads in any of the ad groups, right? So that is one. Then then uh, to answer your question, what you can do is, when once you've created this campaign, then at the ad group level you can go, and if you want to create extensions at ad group level, you can do that as well. So then it will be only applicable to ads within that ad group. Yeah. Yes, you can edit the ads once they are live as well. Okay, or you can add more version, or you can create one more ad if you want. So say save and continue. Yes, Dipti. Okay, now next level will be to create the ad groups. So however many ad groups you want to create, you can go and decide here only. So let's say I want to create men's shoes as an ad group. I can go in. name it like that. Right, put in a default bid. Today we're not choosing, how deciding how where to get the suggestions and all, so that we will see in a separate tool like next week. So I'm just putting in any number right now. Okay, and even the keywords, I'm not going to see how to find the keywords today. Okay, so we are just getting about started with this structure, right? So we will see how to find more keywords and all that next week. So some suggestions are there on the right hand side though. So if for your website, some good suggestions come up on the right hand side, then you can choose from these as well, right? Otherwise, you can write your own keywords. You can start today, and I mean, you can create this campaign, save it for now. You can run it later also, because search campaigns we will see more more details next week. Okay, so as of now, I'm just keeping these. Same thing, new ad group. I'll say women's shoes. Sorry. I'm going to be saving it. There's nothing Sapani. It's just that when we saved that page, right, then we came to this page where it is asking us which ad groups you want to create. Name of the ad group, the default bid, and the keywords. Right. And I'm not even getting into how to decide the default bid right now. We'll see that next week. And even, as of now, we've just, what you can do is when you write your, website URL, on the right hand side, you will see some keyword ideas. You can pick up from there, or you can think of some on your own, right? So you can mention that for now. And then we will see more on keywords next week. A lot of time we will spend on keywords next week. So that's it. Okay, I'm saving this. Once I save it, then it will ask me to create the ads. Limit for creating limits, I have mentioned in that slide, Amit. That slide had the limits. How many campaigns you can have in your account, how many ad groups, how many keywords. Can we create free ad on Google AdWords? So one way you can go about is, they give a 2000 rupees something, right? So where you can just search for Google AdWords online, go on their AdWords ad, right? So they will give you some voucher that you can use, right? So that you can use, but that's all. Otherwise, yeah, that one they give from time to time, and that is the one you can use for a new account only. Okay, create ad group men's shoes, new ad. Right now, I'll just write this ad. So when I click on this, it says fill this out. Right. So there is a headline one, there is a headline two. So remember the same things that we saw. There is a URL and there is a description line. Right. So now we are writing this. So I'll say men's shoes. Right. The first one was men's shoes. So let's say we say this and we get given some headline that. Then we go and say sale. Yeah, so you can write. So remember the display path. While it looks like a URL, it is actually an ad only. So you can just write and see everywhere character limits are mentioned. You cannot exceed that. 30 characters including spaces, 30 characters including spaces, 80 characters including spaces. So you need to fill this out. So the process is that if you take when this goes, you create this, it goes to Google for approval, and then if Google approves it, it goes live. If Google disapproves it based on the policy, I'll show you the policy, then you have to make the change, that relevant change, and then you have to save it again. That's all you need to do. So it will again go to them for approval. So they will give you a disapproval reason, right? So based on that, you make the change and it will go to them for approval again. If this time it's fine, then it will work. Okay, I'm just mentioning just about anything here. Why? Because typically final URLs, and this is the actual working URL, typical final URLs can be anything, right? So they may not be really always very clear. And that is why there is something called display path. So what will happen is this display path will show up on the ad, right? This URL will show up on the ad. But when somebody clicks, the clickable part is where? The clickable part will be the headline, right? The clickable part will be the headline. And if somebody goes and clicks on the headline, then then they will go to this final URL page, right? This is actually a working URL. You need to copy and paste it, not write it down. So this one you need to copy paste. This is the URL that people will go to. This does not show on the ad, remember, right? And that's it. So once you have filled this out, okay, this you don't need to go to, done, right? So that's it. And then same way with women's shoes, you can write this ad. So some things that I'm doing here is that one, I'm starting every every word with a capital letter, right? So that's one. That's the kind of capitalization. What I'm not doing is I'm not going to write like everything in all capital letter, right? Or write anything which wrong spelling, some kind of casual way of writing which will attract attention. So I'm not doing all that, right? So I'm just writing it in a very, very standard way, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? That otherwise Google can go and disapprove. Now description. The other thing that I did here is I ended my description line. Of course, you can add more, right? So you can write more in description based on what all you have on offer. But I'm going to end this with a call to action. So when I'm saying buy now, it's called a call to action. That means I'm telling the consumer this is what you can do, right? I'm giving a sense of urgency and I'm telling them that buy now, right? So that is call to action or CTA, which you should typically have in your ad, right? You can end your ad with description line. You can end like this. Now a final URL, right? Right now I'm typing it out, but this will be a working URL. So this campaign is created, right? So once you save this campaign is created. And say done. One clicks on the headline. When they click on the headline, they go to the final URL. Right? So see this. And now if for this ad group, I have one ad. For this ad group, I have one ad. So if I want to create more ads, right, which like I said, that typically you should create more than one. So next time I will say here plus new ad, and then maybe I'll talk about my brand in the headline. So remember the headline is highlighted, right? Headline is highlighted. So maybe next time I'll talk about my brand in the headline, or this header 2 part I will take to the header 1. So I can experiment with different things, what works. Same thing I can do here. I can add more ads, and then I can say save and continue.
So it's already giving me some kind of click estimates and all that, but these things estimates we will see in more detail next week. So we'll say continue to the campaign. The campaign is ready. Let's see how it looks like. So this is the campaign. Within all campaigns at the top, my campaign name is this, right, which also I can change anytime. So this is the campaign. It says enabled. If I want to pause this campaign at any time, I will just click on this and I will say pause it. So my campaign will get paused. Now that doesn't mean that my campaign is live right now. Okay, paused means that pause button will be there regardless. So even after it goes live, you can simply click on this and pause it at any time, and you can enable it at any time. Right now, that's it. And there are two ad groups here, right? The status is eligible, default max CPC. Today, if it is this, tomorrow, if I think that no, 25 rupees, let me change this CPC bid. And this is ad group level also, I'm deciding my CPC bid. So if I say that no, let me increase this. So I can just keep increase this and make it like this, right? So you can just change it at any time. And all the results as they come in, you will see here on the right hand side, clicks, impressions, CTR, all that. So if I go within the ad group, right, all my keywords are here, right? Same thing with the keywords. I will be able to see my results against each keyword, right? So we'll go to the live accounts and all also, but that's later. So right now let's just create and see the structure. So if I see the results, and tomorrow maybe this keyword doesn't work for me and I don't want to keep this keyword, I can just say pause. So this keyword can be paused at any time. Or I see that for this keyword even 30 rupees is not enough, maybe I'll have to raise the CPC for this particular keyword. I can go and change it to 35 later, right? So all these changes can be done. What else? So that's it. And ads, let's see the ads also. So right now I'm within this campaign within women's shoes, so I will only see the ad for women's shoe, right? So my ad is this. Now extensions, right? This is where I can go and I can later on add any extensions. So right, or I can modify my extensions. If I think that they're not relevant, I can make changes. So say extensions. Okay, these extensions are there, I can make changes. I can say plus extension, right, and I can add any kind of extension. If I go to, suppose I want to add a location extension, the location will be different. Yeah, so any extension, this window I want to show you. So see, this will say, do you want to add it to this ad group, or you want to add it campaign level? So you can decide here whether you want to create a campaign level one or ad group level one. So all those things can be done. Right now, keywords is also done. So that's it. Campaign settings, right? Let's go to the campaign level, and we're seeing the campaign settings on the left hand side. So everything is about this campaign only, right? So we go to settings. Now these are the settings we chose, right? So anything you want to change about this campaign, you can go to the campaign settings and you can change it. So this is the place. You can click on this, you can change the budget, right? So all of that same place. Clear? So that's about this campaign. Now let me go back. Now, what all things we have not done on this campaign. One, we have not decided, we don't know what these different kinds of bid strategies are about. So I'm just saying what are the things parked for next week, so that you don't, that's very clear. So bid strategies we'll see next week in detail. How much to bid, if I bid so much, then what is the suggestion, is AdWords giving me a suggestion, that we will see next week. And how much, if I, if this budget is what I've decided, is it good enough, or how many clicks can I expect in this budget? So these kind of things we will see next week. Okay, so we have not planned out things as such, but we just wanted to get you started in the very first week. So that's why we've just gone and created a campaign right now. So this is the campaign setting, location, ad scheduling, devices settings, right? And your result by each location. See here, this is part of campaign setting only. So if I go to location, then I will be able to see my result by my each location in the campaign, right? And similarly, result by each ad schedule and result by each device. So I will get to see when these ads run, I will get to see computers, mobile phones and tablets,
what were my results. And tomorrow, I can even make bid adjustments in all these three. I can make bid adjustments, which means that I can say tomorrow that, no, mobile phones are not working for me. I want to decrease my bid on mobile phone, suppose. So I can simply click on this and I say that decrease my bid on mobile phones by 20%, suppose. uh, on for a particular kind of business, maybe a B2B business and all, maybe it's possible that, this is not working. So if I say decrease by 20%, what will happen is, or increase by 20%, whatever it is, that wherever whatever my bid is, so whenever it is, whenever that search is from a mobile device, it will in this case decrease by 20% or increase by 20% as I keep it. So my bid will automatically, a 10 rupee bid will become 12 rupee bid, like this. Right, so these things you can do later on based on any results that you see on this page. So first of all, you'll see results on this page, how many clicks, impressions and all that, by location, by ad scheduling, by devices. So that's your campaign. Okay, so that's all about your campaign. Now let me go to a few more slides here. But before we finish this, I'll share one feedback link. Okay, I'll share it again. We have not ended the class as such. We have another 10 minutes to go, and we have an assignment to discuss and some more points about policy and all to discuss. But before that, I'm sending you a feedback link. Okay, this feedback is what we collect, after every session. So it helps us also understand how the learning has been for you. Is there something that you want us to improvise? So anything that so that it really helps us as well. So that's the feedback link for today's session that I'm sharing. Thank you so much. And we'll just continue. Please do not leave right now. Okay, I'll just go to your questions and then we'll continue from there. Okay, there's nothing else. URL can be on or it's of any of the site. So URL can be any page from your website. Okay, any page from your website which you think is relevant for that ad group, you can give that URL from your website. But it cannot be for any other advertiser's website. Okay, then you cannot take that campaign live. It will not be allowed by Google. So of your own website for which you have rights to advertise, you can take up whichever page is relevant page for that ad group. For every ad group, you can take up a different page. How do we decide the CPC? That we'll see next week. Okay, as of now, no, as of now, those suggestions have come up, so that we'll see in a separate tool next week. I'll come to the assignment. There are some things to be discussed before that. This campaign's created, but there are a few things here. One bit about the policy, right? So what is this policy? Why can ads get disapproved, right? So they have a list of policies: prohibited content, prohibited practices, restricted content. These three typically are about, what's illegal to advertise, what's unethical to advertise, so these kind of things will typically fall in here. If you have a regular business, then these things will not really impact you. It's more of the editorial and technical policies. Editorial and technical policies are, like I said, uh, strange, all this kind of capitalization or this unnecessary capitalization, punctuations, unnecessary punctuation, not standard style spelling, any repetitions, using phone numbers you always have call extensions and all that, right? So all that is, they can go and disapprove your ad for that. Like I said, if they go and disapprove, that means you will get a notification, you will also get an email, you will get a disapproval reason. You can go and make that change in your account. You say save again, it will again go to them for approval. Then this time, if it gets approved, it will go live. So disapproval is a fairly regular thing to happen, if for these reasons, right? So you can simply make that change and it can go ahead next time. So all this, and for display network and all, it can also be image quality and video quality, right? And then see these examples: capital letter, punctuation, attracting attention. This is standard, right? Standard ads, the way you write all these things. Capitalization, use the display path URL also to your advantage, because even that is an ad.
use the relevant final URL, not just your homepage everywhere. Highlight offer and discounts. Choose the best headlines. So, experiment with different headlines because they get highlighted, right? So, see here the different kinds of headlines, wallflowers, so they have changed it to this one. They've made it DIY here. So they've experimented, right? With the same ad, they've experimented. Choose the best headlines, highlight your USPs. Now, best headlines, obviously, you cannot decide. You'll see the results, right? On different ads, you can see the results. Highlight your unique selling propositions, call to action you should use, shop now, same day guaranteed, okay, save today. What else? Harpreet, just one point more, just one slide more, okay, please. So dynamic keyword insertion, this is one extra, add-ons kind of thing. It's called a customizer that you can use, right? You can use something like this in your ad copy, where you can say that when you're writing your ad, right, you can, in the headline, see, you can even write like this, buy, and if you write something within brackets, then what happens is this becomes dynamic keyword insertion, which means that here, instead of this bracket, the if somebody goes and searches for something, it will match with one keyword in your in your ad group. That keyword can show up on the instead of this bracket, right? So that keyword can show up instead of this bracket. So if it matches with dark chocolate, then it can show up like this, buy dark chocolate. If it matches with sugar-free chocolate, it can show up here, it can show sugar-free chocolate. What happens is the user becomes more likely, more inclined to see your ad, right? And that way it can work better for you. So this gets highlighted, people may be more inclined to click on it if they just see what they were exactly, the way they were thinking of it. So, or if it is too long, something like this, it may not fit in here, then this default one can come up, right? You have a default also. So this is just one extra thing that you can try out. But remember, if you do that, no, there's no extra cost. It is just a way of writing your ad. But if you do like something like this, then remember that it should go with the rest of your ad. It should not be that it's kind of everything is getting repeated, or the rest of the ad is just not going with this what you've written there. So ensure that everything goes well, right? Like it gels with each other. So it's not should not be something totally out of place because it's came up from a bracket and it just is not looking, it's looking odd there. Those things you have to take care. So that's again something that you can use. I'll just quickly go to the assignment, and then I'll come to all your questions, not just in one way. What, not just in one way? Sorry. In last ad, we use buy chocolate truffles. Yeah, because see what happened is that this became too long to fit, right? There is a character limit, remember? So there's a character limit, so it became too long to fit. In that case, this default, if any such issue is there, then this default one can go. That is why you have to write it like this, keyword colon default. So that default will go in this case. Harpreet, what, not just one way? Yeah, this is just one extra, trick into the ad writing. Okay, let's go into your assignment. Now, assignment here will be task one is to obviously start your Google AdWords account. Simple. You can follow this, or it's you can just simply go through the steps that we went through, right? And you can create a create your Google AdWords account. Make sure you mark the task complete at the end of it, right? So within this, when you go, there will be a mark complete button. So make sure you mark complete. So click on mark complete so that we know that you've completed the task. The next assignment will be to create a search network campaign, right? So here, see, if you go in, it will say mark complete. Okay, so once you complete creating your account, say mark complete. So then the next assignment is to create a search network campaign, which ideally should be for your own business, right? If you do not have a business as such right now, no website as such, then you can create it for any other business. But in that case, it will not go live. Okay, it will just be in your account, it will not go live, you cannot take it live, right? So as of now, if you do not want to take, even if it's for your own business, you do not want to take it live, you want to wait for some more details into search, that's okay. But at least go and create this. Okay, so your name, email address, okay, all that. Tell us your AdWords account ID. Where is AdWords account ID? AdWords account ID is here. So if I go here, then I will have an account ID. So if I click on this, see, this is my account ID 461 and all. So I need to mention that AdWords account ID, and then tell that, sorry, and then tell the website URL. What is your website URL? Identify a local business or your own, ideally your own, but otherwise any business. Okay, and then campaign name, what campaign you're going to be creating, just one campaign. Okay, name of the campaign, the location, the default bid, right, which of course we have not seen much detail into, so that's okay. Bid strategy can be manual CPC for now. What is the per day budget? You can tell us the per day budget. We'll see, and you can write an estimate based on that, what you saw in the last page for estimated so many clicks, right? You can see last page, remember they showed you estimate, so you note it down and you can mention that, but we'll see more detail into this. And that's it, right? Very, very simple task. Choose any example from your, ideally from your own business or your job related one, right? So you can do that and create this campaign. And the task 4 we have not discussed, so you can skip this. Task 4 we will discuss next week. Okay, so then you will be required to complete it. Task 5 is to read up some case studies we have mentioned here, so please go through all these case studies, mark them complete once you've read them. So that's the task 5. So very simple. So the core task here is to create one search network campaign and fill this template, right? Fill this, you can download this template, fill this up, right? Fill this up and submit it. Where do you have to submit it? You have to submit it here in this page. Task 3, create ad group and add keywords. This is the page where you will be required to submit the assignment. Sorry, this is the case study. So that's it, guys. If anybody wants to leave, in case anybody is in a hurry, you want to leave, you can leave at this point. Okay, so we're not discussing anything new. I'll just come to your questions for the next 5 minutes. We'll discuss any questions that anybody has. Now, one more very important point. You may have questions, in between. So when we come back next week, you will have questions. Sorry, I'll just want to showcase you one thing. So yeah, so when we come back next week, if you have any questions, we'll discuss in the beginning of the session. But in midweek, if you have any question, please use this ask a question tab here, right? So you can note down your questions there. And if you have any questions midweek, right, and you're stuck with the assignment, what to do, anything like that, then you can discuss, you can post there, we will answer for you. And there is an upload button. I just wanted to show you that within the task 3 there, you will find that upload button. So there you need to upload this document, right, that that what is the campaign you've created and all that, and that's where we will see it. Okay, next week what we will do is, when we come back, we will go and improve upon this campaign a lot, right? So right now it's just a basic, just a framework that is there, so we have to go and improve it next week. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I'll just come back to your questions. Thank you. Thank you, Razia. Um, so recording, Harpreet, I think goes up by Thursday for sure. Okay, I cannot say before that. I'm not too sure about that because there's a set format that we work on. So, but definitely it'll go out by Thursday for sure. And as far as I know, and for this assignment, please complete it before the next session. Okay, please complete this before the next session, because next session we will have a more detailed assignment, right, where we'll have to go and improvise upon this campaign in detail, and then we'll also be required to take it live ideally. Okay, like, so that we can get learnings and all that. So please spend time on your website also if you want this week. Absolutely, Megha, you can. Okay, you can you can go and decide which keywords and all. But yes, there is one point here, Megha, that ideally it should be on a not on a common domain. Okay, if it's on a common domain, then it becomes a little difficult. So if you're working on your own domain, then it becomes easier to advertise, because if it's on a common domain, then you kind of compete with everybody who's on that domain and is trying to advertise. You got my point? But otherwise, yes, definitely you can, and you can get traffic to your blog that way. Your probably your goal will be to get traffic. um, can we use our blog? Yes, definitely. So the Shanam, you can use your blog as well, definitely. Yes, if you don't take it live, that will also be okay, but right now please go and create this account. Okay, so you can create this campaign. Next week also you can take it live. Okay, so once we'll have more details and all that, because we'll go and optimize it next week.
Of the 5 tasks, 4 should be done by next week. Yes, the task 4 you can skip, Siddharth, for now. Ads can be uploaded on any websites. Ads can be uploaded on any website. No, right now we are creating a search campaign. Okay, so it will only show up on Google search and search partners. We're not talking about those DNA and Hindustan Times of the world right now. Is that what you were asking, Amit, or anything else? Okay, cool. So right now, forget about that. Just that, from right now, you can just go and as you browse, you can discover more Google Display Network ads. But as of now, we are not discussing Google Display Network till the third week. I mean, yeah, it's only in the third week that we are discussing. So which URL should we use if you do not have a website? So if you do not have a website, then you can use any URL right now. But remember that you cannot take it live. Okay, just that. So right now you can use any URL. You can take up any brand that you know of, right? Any brand, and you can write their URL. It's just that it will not go live, and also typically, Google will also anyway disapprove. You do not need to set up billing in that case. Have I missed any question, guys? Please just write again just in case I've missed any, because the window keeps really moving very fast. Extensions or options is done. Thank you, Sushmita. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Deepthi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Abida. Yes, definitely, Amit, you can. The idea is to get more traffic. Okay, the idea will be to get more traffic to your blog. But having said that, if you have a blog which is not on a common domain, when I say common domain, like wordpress or blogspot, right, then it is better if you do not have it on a common domain, if you have it on your own domain. Siddharth, thank you so much, Siddharth. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks a lot. Amit, clear? Any other questions? Satyaparni, is it mandatory to spend money? Yes. So ideally, you should. Like, what we have figured is that if you can go and spend, let's say, about 500 rupees on a search campaign, you may not take it live this week because we have not discussed it in detail, or we have more steps we will see. But please do go and create it this week. You can take it live next week and spend about, let's say, 500 on a search campaign. You can try spending 500 on a display network campaign. It's not mandatory, but that's I think that's what we think is the best way to go about it, right? Because if you spend money, you take learning, you see what worked, you take learnings, then you optimize. Oh, if you don't have a business or a blog of your own, actually then we can't really figure, there's no way, right? So then you do not need to set up your billing, and then you can create campaigns, but you will not be able to see any numbers. Okay, like today we created a campaign, but we did not see any numbers on the right hand side, right? So it will be like that only, and it will stay like that. Okay, but you can do it like that also. I mean, it's okay. But I that's not what we recommend so much. Amit, thank you. Megha, thank you. Rochak, yes, why not? Yes. Thank you, Sonali. Thank you, Sapparni. Thank you.